you know what? I think we should get into map picks for this. We have set the table perfectly for this second quarter-final. My mouth's watering about this one. Where are we going?
Well, we're going to go to Cafe as the very first pick. FURIA are going to pick into this. Now, Cafe was known from Liquid's point of view as pretty much being a permaban. We haven't seen Liquid play it, apart from the game to get to the main stage where they played it up against Bleed. So FURIA are really going for a very weak map on the side of Team Liquid.
And I would say, arguably, that Cafe gang against Bleed was not as dominant as I was expecting it on the side of Liquid. I think there was a lot of weaknesses, and I think that's also why FURIA is picking into it. They have recent VOD about it, recent history, lots of rounds to watch, and at the same time, Liquid did not look the best against a weaker opponent.
And then if we move through to the next map, we're going to see that it is going to be Nighthaven Labs. Now, FURIA under FURIA haven't won it. They've played it a couple of times this stage, and it's not been a map that they've particularly liked going to. However, the last time they actually won it was that incredible comeback in Sao Paulo. The winning moment of SI was, of course, Nighthaven Labs with that comeback. So it's a map that they're not necessarily comfortable with, but they will play. And then if we move through to the very final map, we're going to see that Chalet is the decider. Now, for both teams, Chalet is a very middle preference map. If we get there, I'll be honest, I would have to favor FURIA. I think over a longer term, FURIA's playstyle and understanding of the game probably outweighs Liquid's on that map specifically.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of the opposite on Nighthaven, and also that's why I understand why Liquid is picking it. I think it restricts your movement a little bit. Obviously, depending on the bomb site, the map is quite big. You have plenty of roaming space, and that also plays into the aggressive playstyle of FURIA. But then in general on Chalet, I think this is the perfect map to try and contest early on in the entries. That's exactly what we've seen from the game before with BDS and Secret, and that exactly falls into the play that FURIA wants, right? They want to be aggressive early, they want to play with information gathering, with the Valkyrie, defend against these windows. So overall, the map veto is pretty balanced. I would say in general still favors FURIA as the heavy favorite in this matchup.
Fresh, I touched on it earlier about the fact that it's routine for this roster to come to an international event, to come to a major, to come to a world championship now and go home with the victory.
Yep.
It really does give them an advantage because for Liquid, you know, that main stage, when it comes to especially a grand final, it's associated with heartbreak.
Yeah, and I think that it's the association. One associates it with winning, the other associates it with a feeling of dejection, right?
Yep.
And when you're at the very top, these two teams have the best players in Brazil. You know, if you did the top 15 players in Brazil, all 10 of them are in this, right? I'm kind of including FaZe with the top 15. But it's all about the mental. It's that 1% that separates the two teams. And it is only 1%, but it's a huge difference.
All right, let's get into this one, shall we? I'm ready for it. And coming to a country with a royal history, all rise for our Siege Kings. It's FURIA! What can you say about this roster? It is just regular business for them to achieve the unthinkable, to pursue the unimaginable. It is hard to imagine where on earth they would put any more Siege silverware if they do the job here in Manchester. But I'm sure they will find room for our fans here in Manchester. It's a joy to see them in action. Their opponents ran the longest race to be here. Our dark horses, Team Liquid! Legends of the game. You can hear from our fan reaction. It's a mixed bag, but one thing is for sure, you cannot deny the heritage and the history that comes with the logo on their chests. An all-Brazilian buffet is ready for us here and now in Manchester. It almost feels criminal that this is happening so early on, as our teams get set and ready to get into this one. Palu and Felipox, if you could come and join me on the stage just before we get to business here. Two men I'm very familiar with talking on a main stage. Felipox, how are you doing?
I'm good.
How are you enjoying Manchester?
I love Manchester, besides it's too rainy, bro.
It's too rainy, although he does love a Weatherspoons. I've seen him in there. Palu, good to see you on a main stage once again.
Yeah, always good to be here, you know.
I've got to ask you, Felipox, we were just talking about it down there. It just feels like regular business for you to come out here, get the job done, and go back to Brazil with a trophy. However, you've got your rivals standing in your way here. You, of course, will show them all the respect.
Yeah, it's a Brazilian derby here in Manchester. We are going to put a great show against them, but we're getting the win today.
Palu, I don't want to see any more tears from you, man. This is where I want to see all smiles going forward. Are you feeling confident in this Liquid roster here in Manchester?
Yeah, like since Maya joined us, I think we had a bond between him, and like we are really strong right now. Doesn't matter who we are facing, you know.
You don't get bored of winning, do you?
No, never. It gets addicting, bro.
I can see that. Filipox, last words to your opponent here.
I'm gonna smash you, Palu.
Yesterday we gave some little what's gonna happen in the match.
All right, guys. Round of applause for FURIA and Team Liquid. Go and take your seats, guys. Oh, man. I'm ready for this one. Let's get to it, Manchester, shall we? Those of you watching at home, you're going to love this. All Brazilian. It's FURIA versus Liquid with Demo and Ollie.
Well, not quite Demo and Ollie. We look a little bit different than Demo and Ollie would. I guess if I would be Demo.
I mean, I'm the
and you're
one.
Ollie.
No, because I'm shorter.
If you're Ollie, hold on, let me do Demo.
Okay. Hey guys, X here. Hello, Demo.
I'm from Northern Ireland. That's a terrible Northern Irish accent, because I don't ever do it.
No.
It's nice to see you all. The British who work on this show have talked to us a nauseating amount of times about how good a British crowd can be.
Yeah?
So, yeah, you should cheer. Cheer for yourselves. Woo! But before we get into the matchup, I want to lead you in some brief audience participation. So, I'm going to say a couple things, and feel free to either cheer or boo. So let's start with an easy one. How about beans on toast?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah?
How about, I don't know, you like the NHS?
Okay.
They love healthcare here.
Apparently.
What about America?
Oh, you're losing that one, Parker.
I'm not American.
No.
What about beans on toast again?
They love the beans.
I heard the teams walk in, but I don't think you were quite loud enough. Are you cheering for the defending, reigning, major champions of FURIA? Or are you cheering for the Dark Horsemen of Team Liquid? All right, what about America? Hold on, let me do that one again. What about America?
Oh, okay, there it is, the passion.
Very good. Thank you for engaging me in that. I'm not American, so I don't need to do that. I'm also not Demo, you're also not Ollie.
No, we are. It's pink on Parker. I mean, this could be a big one, right? You got longevity and Nesk and Paolo, the story of Team Liquid. They've been a fan favorite so long, so many times, often falling short, versus, I mean, everybody wants to see FURIA lose at this point, right? They've been winning for a full year straight. Someone's got to take them down. But given Liquid's story, this stage, this major so far, I don't know if they are the team to beat FURIA right now in their current state. They've had a tough time here, not getting those convincing victories, just scraping their way. They played 14 matches so far on maps. Like, they've really been going through it, whereas FURIA, they've played 10 maps in difference so far to get here.
It's been an absurd run for Team Liquid. That's, by the way, basic math, that's 10 more maps.
That is 10 more maps.
10 more maps.
Yep.
That's an eternity in any esport, especially in a game as mentally taxing as Rainbow Six is. One thing that you and I were doing on all of our broadcasts that we worked on was we were referencing the kill totals of these players. And a tourney leading 144 kills are all in the hands of Maya. Now again, really easy to get 144 kills when you're playing 14 maps. That works out to an average K of 10 per map. So, safe to say, if Maya drops below 10 kills on any of these maps, it's going to be quite troubling for Liquid to overcome what is quite the adversary in FURIA.
Yeah, and it's been a big talking point for us that when Maya first joined Liquid for this stage, he had a really rocky start, not finding his individual performance, also not finding that role in the team of Liquid. And then we're thinking, when they come to this major, how is that gonna turn out for them? Only having 4 players kind of playing together? Well, it changed because Maya has been the standout performer so far, but being enabled by the likes of Lagonis and Nesk, whether it's droning, IGLing, so ink in leadership, or just Nesk sacrificing himself to enable Maya on those interkills.
Nighthaven Labs is a map that is a very big comfort pick for Team Liquid. It was a map that FURIA didn't even play 3 months ago.
Yep.
But they pulled it out in stunning fashion in the semis of SI, up against G2, demolished them. And then one of the greatest comebacks we've ever seen in the entirety of this esport against FaZe Clan to win the Hammer, the World Championship, on home soil. That could be the decider because we might not even need Chalet.
Might not be needed, no.
Now, if we don't need Chalet, that means FURIA wins Cafe. So I pose a question to you. What do we need to see from Liquid right out the gate on Cafe? And if Liquid wins on Cafe, what are the win conditions?
So the big thing about this is that this is actually the map pick of FURIA. So Liquid, they choose the starting side. Liquid, they are choosing to go on attack on Cafe in their first matchup on stage. That is pretty uncommon, so I am pretty sure that Liquid, they have prepped some cheesy one-round strategies to build some momentum, some early rounds here, and catch FURIA by surprise. Then after attack is done and dusted, all you gotta do is ride out that early advantage that you bought yourself on the attacking side on defense. But I agree with the desk. Fresh said this earlier, I get worried for Liquid if we have to go to Chalet, so I really hope for their side that they can find success on Cafe and Nighthaven Labs.
Well, I know you're probably gonna boo me for what I'm about to say, but unfortunately, there is a tech issue, so we have no choice. Oh, stop. We'll be right back in just a quick couple minutes with FURIA versus Team Liquid. Apparently there is no break, never mind.
Oh, you lied to us.
I lied to you.
We're
Yay!
back, okay. Who wants to have a break in here, right? We want to get into the match. But we're not ready just yet. Still a minute or 2 left before we're into the server. It's been an early morning for you people here, but a lot of you showed up for that first match, EU versus EU. Thank you all very much for that.
Yeah, applaud yourselves. Or don't.
Oh, no. Oh, there it is.
Okay.
A little clap. A little clap.
But enjoying seeing how much the crowd has shown up today? Is there nothing else to do in England?
I mean, it's raining, you know?
It is raining.
What else are you gonna do outside?
I saw the photos and the videos as everybody was lined up outside of the venue. Nobody had umbrellas.
True.
It's raining. How do you not have umbrellas? You know where it's not raining? Cafe Dostoevsky. So, I know I told you to cheer, and you love beans on toast, but how about we cheer for the first map of FURIA versus Team Liquid? All right, the world champions, they want to repeat. They want to prove they're the best, and they need to start with a victory over Liquid. All right, let's get into this matchup.
All right, we gotta see something out of the norm here from the side of Liquid specifically, either in operator band phase or in the strats, of course, when we get into it. The first attacker band, Deimos! The trophy on this stage, removed from action here on Cafe. A very big meta operator so far in recent history. Liquid, go for a Twitch ban. Okay, a bit out of the norm. This can enable the likes of the mirror windows, the Valkyrie cameras, if those operators survive this operator ban phase. Whoa! Solus. Okay.
Last one, who is it?
I'm gonna go to Valkyrie. I'm gonna go basic, but it could be a Sami Valkyrie. It is Sami. Those operators can just lock down pianos so easily on the defensive side. The thing is, FURIA opting to ban a Sami when they start on defense. Again, that can be a bit of a risk factor here. We all know that on Cafe, piano is a big portion of the map that is difficult for attackers to take control over. But with the Asami ban, it becomes a lot easier for Liquid. Now, Liquid, they're a team that we call them a 4+1. They have the 4 gunners that you know that can just show up time and time again. Resets, Maya, Nesk, and Palu. And then they have their IGL, their captain behind them, Lagonis, who often is not needed to pop off or even get that many kills in a match to still find success. But Lagonis as an individual has had a really great tournament so far. So I want to see if he can keep that up against a team like FURIA, who is so good at shutting down individual players in a series. Because the big thing is, no one pops off against FURIA. Every single member of FURIA can just fight you one-to-one, go forward and kill, spawn peek if they want to, and they're not going to have any respect for Liquid in the series, I don't think, because, of course, they're here to win, take down their fellow countrymen. Speaking of spawn peeks, Bird's getting active, jump out the window, look to your left. Oh, he's not going to go for it. Come on, Hurts. He's scared.
Cowardly! Cowardly behavior. Give the people what they want. Wait, hold on a sec. No. Give me a sec. We didn't live through 2 years of Dez and Fresh and all of that saying, oh, all the Americans can do is let's go team, for you to immediately do let's go Liquid. I'm expecting full choruses of cheers. Different sayings, songs. I want songs. From you, the crowd. You're shouting things probably at me. I can't hear you. I can't hear what you're saying. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you.
We're going to create a monster by the end of this one, Parker.
Remember we had them boo the teams that didn't run the team kits at Charlotte?
Don't go there. No, no booing, just cheering. Skinnergy.
We're halfway through the round, by the way, and other than that early potential spawn peak, we haven't seen all that much. JV92 has taken some damage, somehow.
We have an early gunfight early on, but I mean, for pacing-wise, for Liquid here, 1 minute 20 seconds, not breaking that 4-part inside of train and mining. It's a pretty good pace here. FURIA, they're a team that they understand their win conditions. When they got Goyo, the Smoke, the Castle, the Echo, they want the time to tick down as far as possible and play for a late-game plant deny. So it's Liquid's problem-solving skills here that is going to get tested. Nesk on the IQ, try and find out all those piece utilities, where they are on the side, and say, guys, pop this Goyo canister, find this Yokai drone, get ready for that heads drop. Be careful, of course, the KC, who's playing in VIP, 3 toxic babes in pocket. He's going to be the first line of attack if Liquid want to clear him out.
The gas will run now as 2 canisters remain in pocket for the team leading KZs, the highest rated player on all of FURIA. You will need a strong performance from him today, just as you will from the rest of this FURIA team, but he's actually the first to die at the hands of Reset. Now patrolling over by the back of Freezer, final 20 seconds. Lagonis drops in, escorted by Nesk, no coverage whatsoever. Felipox is ready for that, gunning down Lagonis. Looking for another kill, same area. There's a Yokai drone in place. Scouting on Nesk, it goes up, it'll stop him with 4 seconds left. Nade taking matters into his own hands. Felipox, a monstrous round. He does most of it himself.
You can boo all you want, but when FURIA they play Rainbow Six Siege, it looks so damn clear what they want to do in every single round. That was with losing KC early with that opening death. And they still say, okay, we got the Yokai drones. Guess who's planting? Nesk on the IQ, the wrong player on the wrong operator to do that job. Where was Lagonis? Where was the supportive cast of Liquid to then enable Nesk to do his job first?
Well, Lagonis was dead.
I mean, yeah, but why is he dead? You know what I mean? Like,
well, he got shot.
Thank you, Parker. Great observations, but the players of Liquid in the wrong positions there.
I know what you're saying, though. I mean, you've got an IQ. They knew there was an Echo on the board.
Yes.
One of the first things that Nesk did was pop out IQ's gadget, try to find the location of the Yokai, but it wasn't on the ceiling. It was tucked away in a nook, potentially in a cranny, somewhere downstairs. And then, I mean, you get information from him. Stop the plant, 3 seconds left on the clock. Felipox sprints over, front of kitchen, all the way to the back, and he cleans house along the way. Worth noting, there's still almost half of the server still alive when that round ended. Almost, not quite, but almost. So Team Liquid will have to be a little bit better with clock management and more importantly, a little bit more coordinated with the way they get into the site.
All right, so I think the plan for Hertz is open the window every single round. Don't jump out the first, second, third, or fourth. But in the fifth round, he's gonna fly out that window and catch Liquid by surprise, possibly. But it just goes to show, Liquid, they've been loving playing through the planned objectives so far during this major. FURIA, they've only played 4 maps, so of course their statistics are a bit like behind most other teams because there's a sample size, you know? But FURIA, they will only play for planned when they're attacking, when they absolutely need to. They're happy to flood the bombs so they can go for kills, like we saw in that defensive round. Yeah, they had Toxic Babes, died early, fair enough. They had Echo deny, but instead they just push together 2-3 people, take down Nest, timer hits 0. They don't have to rely on utility. Whereas Liquid sometimes, they like to overplay, like very safe. We can just go for plant, don't worry about it, guys. If that plant fails, time is low, the entire round falls with it. So Liquid's win conditions need more than just one. They can go for kills or the plant, not just the plant attempt.
Well, Nade now playing inside a Humidor with a shotgun out in case anybody drops. A good shout. That will likely kill at that distance. Reset's looking to capitalize off of the logic bomb. He doesn't know he's got company inside a piano, but KZ will start this match 0-2. Herds answers back. FURIA losing the numbers advantage next to Maya, and Fellapox is boxed out by Lagonas. A significantly better upstairs attack. And Liquid are doing all this with the clock on their side. They lose Pollard. They almost lose. Maya seals the deal. A very brisk affair on that second round, and Liquid answers back.
That's the kind of thing I was expecting to see from Liquid because they chose to start on the attack inside. That was just a mini execute that just snowballs in their favor. They rappel in piano, the wide hallway, cocktail, etc. And all they gotta do is trade the first kill or two and get inside the building, inside the bomb site. And they did just that. That piano portion of the map that's so hard to take in control, well, because FURIA, they banned the Asami, it's that easy. Throw out a couple of flashbangs, maybe a grenade, some B, some Grim, and that's it. It's yours to take, and you see it right here. The rappels, they enable everything for this team. That's why a lot of teams don't like to defend that top 4 bomb site on Cafe, but hey, FURIA, they tried it, and they lost it.
They really did roll over on that piano portion of the map, though. It was just KZ who looked like he was anchoring it down. He was prone behind the couch and had no real supporting cover. One player from FURIA looked to be in the back bar, but that was about it. Other than that, a series of singular engagements as Nade had fallen off that Humidor position a little bit earlier on. Middle floor now will be the main focus for FURIA on this third round. And we see a Thorn with the M87.
Yep, playing Cigar, I presume. Oh, third round, I was wrong, it's a fifth.
Oh! We were so desperate for a run out early on. Herds will give us what we want. He doesn't do a single point of damage and almost loses his own life.
This goes to show as well, Liquid's fundamentals, they're pretty good. I mean, it's the third time that he's done it, but they're still ready every single round. And Armor shotgun, Thorn shotgun, this could be another round where, oh, they're cooking something here. 4 people outside Snow Door, Amaru and the Ying, Sophia on Dining Rappel. This could very easily be a bomb set rush, 3, 2, 1 countdown. But FURIA don't have that many operators that can respond to this all that well besides Verticality.
Logic Bomb and Candelas go off. JV92 prepared for the ensuing onslaught. Though he's finished off by resets. The Amaru in, Lagonas getting Diffuser down. Herds with what remains of his HP to eliminate resets. But if nobody knows about this, suddenly you find yourself in a post-plant. FURIA blind to this information. Final Logic Bomb will go off. Herds playing from above, but this is a very linear execute from Liquid. Nade dies at the hands of Lagonas, and now Herds will have to draw up spotted as Maya's managed to get up top, and that's aerial supremacy for Team Liquid. Diffuser at the halfway point, KZ on the case. Palu trying to shake him off, Maya gaining information, it's all up to Maya now. Train your sights, they know where he is! Maya couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat, but the timer continues to run. One of them needs to get on it with 7 seconds by a hair! KZ! He got it!
0.64 seconds left on the retake. It looked like a guaranteed round victory for Team Liquid. A small oversight. Maya did not have the verticality on the floor prepped and ready, and when he broke the floor himself, he was in the wrong spot to deal with the post-plant position. And I think this comes down to miscommunication from Team Liquid because they knew both players were downstairs. Yet Maya seemed a little bit frightened that, hey, what if I get flanked upstairs? Well, you couldn't be flanked because they're both on the bomb side, Maya. But again, Liquid, that looked like it was organized ahead of time from the very beginning. They saw the bomb site, they said, guys, we got the prep work, go for the strat, this one-off rush attempt. And every single aspect besides the 1v2 there, also the Kessa barricade, really worked against Maya there. But 0.64 seconds.
Unbelievable.
So close.
Really, just genuinely unbelievable. If Maya had gotten a kill even a second earlier, could have maybe repositioned to a point where he was safer. Timer would have been in the favor of Team Liquid.
10 seconds.
We can theory craft all we want, but I mean, thought it would be linear. Then all of a sudden, Maya has enough time to get upstairs and influence that top floor, preventing Herds from dropping down, who would have had to engage on that reading door, snow door, as you called it.
Yeah.
Watch this!
I mean, a good look for Liquid is that they're taking Furia to the final seconds of the round in a good way, where, you know, it's a post-plant. Liquid in the very first round, they were almost got down the diffuser, also in the last second, so it is a toe-to-toe matchup right now where a lot of people, myself included, might go, yeah, Furia's gonna win it. This is Furia versus Liquid. It's not really a fair matchup, if you will, but Liquid are showing a lot of good signs on Furia's map pick. Liquid only played this map one single time so far with this roster. That's 7-4 victory over Bleed, so not quite the same competition as the Brazilian team in, you know, APAC, but Bleed themselves, they were no slouch this tournament. They did pretty well until they didn't. They went home, you know, so.
I mean, this roster of Furia, even competing under the W7M name, quite the record against Liquid. These two teams seemingly evenly matched in the way that they play Rainbow. An embarrassment of riches when it comes to fragging power on both of these teams. Just as we saw the last time, that JV92 was involved in early action, he loses most of his HP. And now a swing in as Nesk gets the rest of it. Looking for one more. That's KZ tucked into back bar, and he swings onto Nesk. He wins the duel, but resets, trades it off a little bit too late. Back bar control. Maya's gonna miss the mirror upstairs. There's Nade though, showing in Humidor. Maya is fearless so far in this matchup.
This is the thing that Maya brings to Liquid. He doesn't need a drone in front of him to make plays. He has a really good understanding of where the enemy might be playing at, what angles are covered from their opponent. He just walks in the building single-handedly so frequently and always seems to find success for Team Liquid. Nesk enabling his team once again, getting in, gets the kill, and a trade from resets. But Furia, in this 2v3, they're in a prime position for a clutch. Sure, there's no C4s from below, but those evil eyes, the bulletproof cameras, they got a ton of information on the bomb site and around it. And Liquid, they still only have 45 seconds left.
I mean, Herds and Felipox are two players I would absolutely trust in this moment. It would be more worrying if Palu and Nesk were still on the board. You've got Maya, but then it's the supporting cast from Liquid. Admittedly, both Resets and Lagonis have been showing up huge. Resets will test his mettle up against Herds, leading the way with 5 kills on the team. They know it's coming, but Herds is looking elsewhere. Felipox eliminating Maya, still just spraying bullets into the bomb site. More marks coming out. This time, trying to tear some strips off of Lagonis. Felipox will finally need to reload. Herds a question mark. As Resets looks to isolate over towards Pillar, Lagonis successful in getting the diffuser down. Herds rotating over through Red Hall, losing the duel. Oh! Gets the wall though. Another massive round from the IGL and leader of Furia.
3-round victories for Furia, 3 clutches more or less. These are all rounds that look like Liquid, they have the upper hand until that very last second once more. And sure, Liquid, it was a little bit messy. They were trying to figure out, okay, where can we get down that diffuser? Where is the cover? Because in that 2v2, well, once you start planting, it is a 1v2. There was no one actually helping out Lagonis there, but it didn't matter because the bomb went down. Lagonis himself won his individual gunfight. Resets, though, didn't. Felipox is too strong on the Maestro. No need for reload either. So uptime was on their side. The red pings, we saw them as well. So much intel that Liquid could not deal with. And that's an issue in the current meta for some attacking lineups. You don't have enough soft destruction to deal with 3 Evil Eyes from Maestro and a bulletproof camera. Oh, it's cold, huh?
Bellabox 8-1 through 4 rounds. Far and away, one of the best starts that he's ever had at an international event. Not because he's a bad player, but because the role he plays on often has him playing what we call safe or sheltered minutes.
Yeah.
If he's gonna play on those anchor operators, he's usually the last line of defense, not the first. Well, Bellabox has been a lot more active as FURIA has changed with the times. It was round 1 that was largely successful for FURIA because of Bellabox. Of course, we're overlooking the way that the Echo factored into it, but playing on that Legion, vaulting and getting a 3K to shut down Liquid with less than 30 seconds on the clock. Then that round, a 4K on Maestro, admittedly. A relatively easy operator to get a multi-kill on, but at this level against Liquid, not quite so easy.
Last time we saw FURIA go for a time deny with, the Echo, the go to the smoke. This time it's utility deny, the Tubero and the Kite with the mute as a third option, just stalling out Liquid, forcing out either secondary MPs or in this case a Thatcher. And again, the clock is a big focus of FURIA. Liquid, they can speed things up though. They got the Muncie, they got the Capital. If you want to just enter in through Bakery here and deal with Nade, they absolutely can. But so far it hasn't been the case. The fire right now is stalling them out. Still droning. Liquid don't want to make a risk or to make a mistake here.
And Nade isn't just frankly a terrible spot. What a shot on the resets, never mind! A Nitro Cell will claim Maya. Impact goes out to do some damage to Lagonis as the Monty looks to push in. Liquid being rebuffed every single step of the way. Soto canister to freeze the entry from Liquid. You saw that brief shiver, by the way, early on. Could it have been a bit of foreshadowing of what was to come in this round? A minute and a half still to go in round number 5. Liquid trail 1-3, and it's all up to Palu, who gets ego peaked on the window, and KZ will send yet another round into the win column for FURIA. A very dominant start and a 4-1 scoreline for the team who chose this map, FURIA.
It almost seems like Liquid, they're a team of 5 players playing together with like those sweat strats, right? The 1-2-3s. FURIA, they just got the vibes. They're running around the place, just winning individual gunfight after individual gunfight. And it seems so unfair because Liquid, they're making the right choices. But those small parts of execution, those individual gunfights, again, they keep falling to the same side of FURIA. And had a good read. The Kaituber, again, changed things up, challenged Liquid's problem-solving skills, and shows something new every single time. Tactical timeout for Liquid. They gotta settle their nerves right now because they were expecting, I would assume, probably a 3-3 half, and they very easily could have had it if those clutch moments didn't go the way they did for FURIA.
And if you just looked at the kills, you wouldn't think it was such a lopsided matchup. There's only 4 kills separating these two teams right now. 20 kills on the side of FURIA, 16 on the side of Liquid. But you wouldn't guess that from the 4-1. You would think that it was FURIA cleaning Liquid's clock, but not the case. Not exactly the best time to call your timeout with only 1 round remaining in this first half. But desperate times call for desperate measures.
Yeah.
Since FURIA picked this map, Liquid are presumably starting on the better side. That's how these things work.
It's not by much. 3%, 47 for defense in that regard. So, it's not that 50-50 or 6% in that regard in the difference maker, but not a big advantage.
I mean, that could be why they called the timeout when they did. They know it's not going to get much better when it goes to the next side. It's not going to get much worse either. But every inch counts.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're in England. Every couple centimeters counts.
They do. So the thing about England, they do miles, they do centimeters, they do a lot of different things here. It's very confusing.
They make it work.
They make it work.
Safe to say, a very critical round for Liquid. 1 victory in your first half. And I say your because you chose this side. Just not going to get it done. Furia are an adversary that you need to keep close. You cannot allow them to steamroll you and get a lead because they're a team when they're ahead, they don't often give it up.
No.
They're a team that when they're behind, they play like they could be ahead and they just keep winning. It's very hard to shake this team. There's a reason why over the last year, they've won every single major. Nesk will start off this round in a positive direction with JV92 dying early. JV92 hasn't had a huge impact on a lot of these rounds, Nick, because of his early deaths.
That's the thing, Liquid, they've been getting opening kill more often than not, or trading, but still they don't find their round victory. This is good though. They got Intel, the yellow pings, Paolo downstairs, no flank doing it looks like, however. Not sure about the flank potential, and now doing damage onto Hertz as well, so they're chipping away at Furia right now pretty quickly in this round.
Now it's Nade taking his licks, Herds as well. Nade finished off. The Monty seizing control of an important avenue, but not the bomb site itself. KZ looking for a retake, but Liquid being shielded, they've lost Ness.
Oh.
No hope whatsoever for KZ. Felipox will have to make some magic here. 9 kills, looking to break double digits. He's got plenty of pings. A 10th kill. Nice shot on the Maya, but immediately traded by Palu, and there's signs of life for Liquid.
When it goes well for them, they snowball through the round. And again, that was all 5 players that playing together. Either they were droning, moving out with the Monty, Paolo from downstairs, Nesk on the entry. Everybody working to shut down the individual players of Furia, not giving them a fair 1v1, but more like a 3v1, favoring, of course, Liquid on the attack.
I will say, 2 rounds, not great for Liquid. The long looks on those faces, I think, tell a lot of the story. Here's the entry from Nesk. Been a lot of questions asked about if Nesk can still hang. Well, this tourney should put a lot of those questions to rest. Yeah, Liquid had some serious struggles at the beginning of stage 1, right after SI. They made that roster move. They brought in Maya. Volps went back to W7M. And Liquid put up 4 of the poorest games we have ever seen from the team.
Yeah.
But they fixed things. They figured it out.
10 seconds to
They ran the gauntlet through the play-ins. They scraped by
5 seconds remaining.
day after day through phase 2. But eventually,
And defuse a bomb.
that proverbial clock will strike midnight on all teams. The question is how close to midnight are you? Liquid now on defense for the remainder of this matchup unless overtime is required. And they're gonna choose a lineup very similar to what we saw when Furia defended this bottom floor bomb site.
Yeah, and the only worry there is when you are a team who plays a strategy first, you likely have a very good understanding of it yourself. So when they see the Echo, when they see this lineup, if they haven't already, they're gonna know exactly what the win conditions are going to be for Liquid and try and counter. And it's once again why we see Hertz this time on the IQ. But the difference between Liquid and Furia is that Furia would not make the mistake of having IQ be the planting operator because you would want that operator to take down the Yokai drones unless you've already shot them. They also bring in Nade on the Monty to A, roam clear faster and safer because they want 5 attackers allowed to shut down all those angles, and also to very safely escort the diffuser case into the bomb site later on.
Well, I don't know what Herds was doing. Down goes Herds at the hands of Palu. Maya as well removed, and the Monty will manage to... No! Oh, Nesk almost got away. Nade chases him down the rabbit hole. And the advantage swinging in Furia's favor despite losing Herds. Herds putting in quite a poor performance by his standards so far today, 2-7. If Herds wakes up, oh boy.
Oh yeah, and I actually think that they also lost both Yokai drones on that roam game because they're used aggressive to help the roamers themselves. So you take down IQ, but you've lost your win condition. No, actually, I was wrong. They have 1 single Yokai left in pocket. Only 1 was lost for Nesk upstairs, so there is still that late round win condition. But again, when you get 2 kills on the attack inside, you don't need to worry about the timer as much because when you get a kill, you basically buy yourself 15-20 seconds of effort at some point in that round. So now if you can slow it down, double check everything, get everybody, all those 4 players in the right positions, break the 4, flashbangs going out, get Monty on the hatch, open up that hatch of course, and then just walk into what side and start getting down that diffuser.
This is a very pivotal spot right now inside of VIP. Resets behind the shield, a very common spot for wardens or smokes. And resets might get stat checked on the stairs as he looks in the wrong direction. There goes the Monty to drop. The coverage will need to come in now as Nade wanders into bomb site all alone. Resets pounced upon by KZ. Who cares with the default cam, right? You've got a job to do. Palu swinging desperately. Lagonis isolated from the site. Whether he can stop this, that's the question. Nade, diffuser goes down in his hands.
Oh.
And it's 1 kill for Lagonis before it's answered back by Felipox yet again. A name we have said 11 times today.
It's a throwback.
That is.
That's like my childhood.
I don't know if you were old enough to remember this. That was one of the first internet memes ever.
Yeah.
The Numa Numa guy.
Yeah. I know them as...
I am so old.
You work in a young industry, so you feel older than you are, I think.
I feel like I'm ready for retirement.
That song for me was hits for kids when I was a kid.
You shouldn't hit a kid then.
Should not hit a kid, but the music hits for the kids.
Oh.
Yeah, those ones.
I misunderstood.
Yeah, you did. That's your bad.
Well, what do you do if you're Liquid now? You called your timeout. You got the opening pick on the Herds, who's been pretty much a non-factor. This is a 5-2 scoreline for FURIA, and Herds and JV92 have almost been invisible throughout this game.
Yep.
It's a 5v3 for Liquid, and they still can't get the job done. Is Cafe toast for it?
The thing is, this seems like that classic Liquid curse that keeps happening where they get oh so close and then they falter. It doesn't work out because there's been 3 individual rounds so far in that first half that could have gone to Liquid. It could have been 5-2 and you flip the scores and Liquid are in the lead with 3 rounds. But because of those clutch moments, the post plans, the 1v1s, the 2v1s don't go their way, they are looking statistically like they're completely locked out of Cafe so far. But when you look at those rounds, as I mentioned, it was a lot closer than this. So I still think there's a chance for Liquid, but mental-wise, they have to stay strong with this one. They know, I think, as well, that Cafe, maybe 50-50, Nighthaven Lab, they feel quite good on, but Chalet is that massive question mark that just heavily favors FURIA's playstyle and how they play as a team as individuals in those gunfights. So Liquid knows that this matters so much to them. This map in particular, start things off, maybe shut down some of the players of FURIA. Like Hertz is 2-7 right now, he's not gonna feel the most confident going into Nighthaven Labs. But if they win 7-2, who cares if you drop down at like very few kills?
Oh,
Nest.
Oh my! Vintage Nesk with the supporting cast of Liquid coming in clutch. Had FURIA pounced on Liquid early in this round, it would be a 6-2 scoreline. Liquid would face down Oblivion on map number 1, but it's the old workhorse, Nesk, who keeps this close. A very winnable round for Liquid and plenty of time for them to just sit pretty, but the amount of time on the clock will surely benefit these last 2 players from FURIA, maybe not.
Nest.
I stand corrected. Down goes Nesk. You need a momentum swing. Liquid might have just found it with that round.
That's ridiculous, you know? There are those and those. Some players, they can play inside a piano, they fall immediately. Ness, he just gets 3 kills very casually. Still got it.
I mean, they're singing the song because Maya is on the team.
Yeah.
But Maya didn't do anything that round.
We need a Nesk song. That's what we need.
That round really did highlight what one player can do on their own inside a piano. You fail to bring enough explosives. You don't drone it out. You have somebody playing with magnets behind a deployable shield. You're gonna have to burn through that. Reminds me of the old utility dump meta.
Exactly that. Takes me back a couple of years at this point. And the beauty about CJ is that you can bring out an old meta and kind of reinvent it into the current game. Because a Tiger is starting to deal with Jaeger DSS and White Disc all that often. So if you start bringing out denial of throwables, you can play behind the shield. So you can actually change things up a lot here for Liquid. We haven't really seen Mirror in action either. That can be utilized as well. FURIA didn't bring it out, for example. So Flash, tons of different unique operators still that neither team has showed, and there's still potentially a lot of rounds to go.
If Herds isn't getting any kills, then at least you can use whatever gadgetry he brings to great success. Adokabi will be in the hands of the superstar. 2-8 for Herds, 2-7 for JV92. This is no knock against Liquid, but if FaZe Clan were their opponents, Furia would be in serious trouble right now. Liquid are failing to capitalize off of the issues that Furia's players are currently having.
Also, look at this. Nesk in the exact same spot with the same setup. They said, you know, they struggled so much at dealing with this. Let's just try it again. Furia, they have brought out the capital, so they can maybe try something here. Or just go Freezer instead.
JV92 vaults in. There's Maya. What? There's another from Nesk. 5 kills for Nesk in the last 3.5 minutes. Maya, in the groups, in the play-ins, decided that he no longer wanted to be in the match. Liquid win that one flawlessly, and it's another huge round from Nesk.
If this doesn't slow down, this could be trouble for Furia because they cannot take piano control, and that's with the Asami band as well. This is just pure mechanical skill from Nesk, lashing out. The moment that a flashbang, a counter fire gets utilized from Furia, multiple members of Liquid will swing out and take those engagements because they know they have utility in their hands. They cannot shoot back right now, and Furia making mistakes that we're not used to seeing from them. They repel in, no one's holding the cross, there's no trade happening, no flashbangs even on side of Nesk. Dokubi of Hertz just sprints in towards Piano, doesn't even shoot back.
Maybe it's starting to catch up to Furia. If it wasn't for Felipox being hotter than a supernova in those first 6 rounds, Furia's offense, quote unquote, aka their killing potential, way down, way below their own expectations. Felipox has cooled off. 10 kills in the first 6 rounds. 3 since then. Not good enough.
Not good enough, and Nesk is back in that same position, 3rd time in a row now. With Furia, they have 2 options. Deal with Nesk, who keeps getting anything he's asking for. He said, you know what, I want castle barricades. Maya says, you're gonna get castle barricades, my friend, don't worry about it. To strengthen this position, Furia can circumvent Nesk by attacking C or repel, bring this touch with the castle, or of course, just try and deal with him. So you let him exist inside a piano, you say, we don't care about that portion of the map, it's yours, Nesk. We attack Cocktail, or you have to just clear him from that corner, but it's not going to be easy.
And how do you clear out the magnets? How do you clear that deployable shield? Well, 3 flashbangs from JV92, 3 flashbangs from Nade, 2 nades from Herds, 2 nades from KZ. So many tools here to deal with Nesk if they can't get the job done. And there you go, look at all the indicators. They drop an anvil on the head of Nesk inside a pixel. The single thing that plagued Furia in the previous round is no more.
They solved the problem. That's again back to that old school utility counter meta where, hey, we gotta do step 1 right now. We need 4 players together. Just flash, nade, hold the angle, lock him down that corner, get the kill. And now though, half round is over. They've burned almost all their utility so far. That's throwable at least. And they're not inside the building just yet, Furia. They just dropped down the red hatch basically. So they're kind of locked out still. But it is a top floor bomb site. All they really need is Cigar and piano control. That's half the work done. Only 1 person stopping them right now so far. That's Resets inside a freezer.
Resets has been rocking this Warden every single round so far. And why not? Not only a great operator in the meta at the moment, but the MPX is a comfort weapon for so many players. Nade, by the way, has found a way in.
Hello?
Do they have any information? Maya creeping up. He has to shut this down, and he'll get the job done. Furia had control of the bomb site, or so they thought. They're getting swatted away, but then there's 2 on the board. Liquid mounting quite an impressive comeback. Maya thought he had the all clear. Felipox last alive down below. Out come the bees, a symbol of Manchester, of the working class folks, Nick. And Felipox looking to try and isolate one of these 2 players. That jumped on by Palu down below. Tie game, Liquid.
It's very well played. 2 versus 1 there for Liquid, baiting out the positions, getting spotted by the Bees on purpose to stress the last attacker. Hey, going for the defuse. Hey, flanking down below. They didn't have to join until either from FURIA. The setup wasn't quite there. The plan going down was great, but the post plan wasn't strong enough for them to hold on to it after the fact. Can't see it from Skylight. They don't have top floor control. They only barely took Piano. So a great off-pace attempt there at changing up the timings of that round, but that's just it. They planned it quickly, couldn't hold on to it, and now FURIA tied out on 5-5, but Liquid win that round will call their tactical timeout. Of course, that means Liquid can also to their coaching staff, but they're on defense. They got all the setups in front of them, the counters, the answers, and of course the options right now. All FURIA can really do is either have a setup before, like a rush like we saw from Liquid, or just react to what it is Liquid is doing. But reacting strategically like we saw is not only enough, because it's not just Nesk right now. He was shut down last round, they still won. Liquid are playing so well together right now, and FURIA now looking more like individuals. It's hard to attack on Cafe, but it shouldn't be this difficult. Ouch.
I sound like a broken record. 2 kills for JV92. The 2 numbers in his name are correct. You just gotta flip them. It's more like JV 2 and 9. Herds 3 and 10. These are 2 of the players on the team that, along with KZ, represent the 3 points of contact for FURIA.
Left before insertion.
If 2 points of your spear, or your trident, if you want to call it that, are dull, you're gonna have some serious problems piercing your opponent's defense. And that's what's happening with FURIA right now. Only a single round on attack has gone their way. Now, if you look at the numbers, it is a defender-sided Cafe.
Yeah.
So this bodes well for Liquid at the moment. They inadvertently, Liquid picked the wrong side to start this match.
Apparently so. But I mean, as I said, you start attack, get a couple rounds, ride it out on defense, you're gonna be A-okay, but you need to have that mental. They say, okay, we're down 2-4, but guys, it's fine, we're going defense right now. It's easier to say, it's hard to believe, but it's proven right here as well. Again, the constant battle between
keep trying,
yeah, come on, fuck him all the time. The IQ versus Valkyrie, now Capcan is, I love the Capcan here, right? It's 5-5, enemy calls a tactical timeout, Capcan traps on the doorways. You can get an easy kill or damage done at some point, but then there's the IQ to kind of deal with that, hopefully.
There are 3 traps on a single doorway. It was read out by Herds early on into the round, so you expect there to be no surprises. But when teams get into that cut and thrust, and they start tackling the bomb site, 15 seconds on the clock. You're not always looking down. Palu cuts KZ off of a wire on rappel. Now you're left with a player with 2 kills, a player with 3 kills, a player with 4 kills for FURIA.
Philipbox dies here. I mean, it's almost like it's round over, but JV gets something done, takes down Nesk, give a middle full upstairs. That gives them piano control, cigar control. They got the half clear upstairs. This death onto Nesk actually means they could go downstairs now and work the bomb side itself, but there we go, there's a jumbo!
Philipbox gets the last laugh. He gets shot off of a wire as well, but his Claymore does the job. And now the soft destruction can go to work above. Down goes Herds. Resets, annihilates him. JV92 and Nade, the last 2 remaining. Liquid looking for their first lead. All they have to do is either shut down the defuse, prevent FURIA from getting the case down, or find those last 2 players. And well, Liquid sits in a 3v2, a very, very good spot. And they've got a Nitro cell in hand and resets, and one in Lagonis' pocket as well.
Yeah, just like make their way downstairs. There's no chance to jump the hedge with the toe sticking out. It's a 2v2 now. They equalize, and now Liquid's strong favorite position is not that easy anymore.
An absolute huge blunder. You knew they were up there, and now a drop down through chimney, down through the fireplace. No clear passage for Nade, who now looks to hit the A-bomb site from the back. Spotted by Palu. He got the first kill. He'll get the last. Team Liquid moved to map point. FURIA looks stunned.
It seems like there's such a simple win condition here for Liquid. Just be disruptive. Every single time FURIA, they're trying to do something, jump out a window, take control, just go for a little one-for-one trade by dying to a Claymore. They just don't want to allow FURIA to go for any sensible execute, but force them into uncomfortable spots, those 2v2s, the 3v2s, etc., where FURIA don't feel like they're actually in control, which they aren't. Liquid have shown us that so many times so far. You see it here. They make a play, Maya jumps out, dies to Claymore, not a big deal. Here, they try and plant, Reese's makes a play. There's always someone having the answers, and it used to be just the Nesk and Palu show. Reset's joined, but he wasn't the kind of player to make those hero plays attempts. Maya joined, had a really bad start, but now it's all 4 players doing it, while that strong backbone of Lagonis is always there to be relied upon. He's gonna stay alive, he's gonna watch the cams, he's gonna call the shots. But it's been all 5 players working together, where we keep saying, Felipok's 15 kills, great for him, but when he doesn't find success, FURIA doesn't find success.
5 seconds left before insertion. Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb.
It was 5-2, by the way. It's been Liquid ever since. Breaking the backs of FURIA, breaking their spirits. FURIA burned their timeout. They will opt for a very similar lineup to what they've used over the last 3 rounds. Trading out the Buck for a Flores. Rotero drones. Great way to bring in explosives while evading ADSs, magnets, etc.
And you can stay outside the building and not get into a gunfight, because Nate has not been having the best of luck with those. But again, now FURIA, they're forced into a more passive, slow-paced playstyle, which FURIA is not, they're known to be more aggressive, more quick to the punch, but again, I think this is them paying a lot of respect to Liquid, to Nesk in this position, saying, you know what, you've done such a great job here, we can no longer just try and run you down, we have to bring utility, and now Nesk actually escapes this time around. Last time he died, FURIA got that opening pick, now they're letting him run away and play out this round 5 versus 5, but Liquid with that also, they're not able to disrupt FURIA. It is still 5 players on both sides, no one's been punished, but now they got those mirrors to deal with, and there's no Ashe to counter.
All it will take for Herds to get back on this map is 1 or 2 quick picks.
Nesk?
Nesk has moved on to his position. FURIA was not familiar with this game. Now Felipox goes down to Palu as well. Mira on the middle floor. Seemed like most of Liquid was defending above. It's not where the bomb site is, but if you're FURIA, you need to ensure you sweep through all of them. Do you have full top floor control at this point? Nesk is still lurking over towards White Stairs. If he goes undroned, could be a very quick backstab against FURIA. There's Nesk, but it's Maya to get the kill. Herds and Nade, the last 2 remaining.
I was just toying with them. I mean, Liquid is running around the entire building playing hide and seek, but they're finding their opponents every single time. The mirror windows, there's no counter, no Kali, no Ashe, no ranged heart breach either. They're locked out.
It seemed impossible for Liquid to persevere, and yet they have every step of the way. Liquid march on to their map of 1-0, stunning the world champions. Oh my! Nighthaven Labs is surely going to be one for the books.
Liquid playing a single match so far off Cathay with this roster, a 7-4 lead, and now they beat FURIA on it.
The desk will surely have some thoughts on that quote-unquote upset. Let's hear it from the desk.
Parker Pengu, thank you very much. The world champions are well and truly shook here in Manchester. Liquid take FURIA's pick in Cafe. My name's Ian Chambers, on the desk with Fresh. Fresh, what's going on?
This was not part of the script, Ian. This was not part of the script. This was FURIA's map pick, but Liquid, they managed to win it out. And what I will say is they were absolutely excellent. They made a ballsy decision. They made a huge decision, and that was to start attack on Cafe. Even though it was FURIA's pick, they decided, we want to start attack. And I think it was genius. The reason that I think it was genius, Ian, is they were going to lose some rounds to FURIA anyway. So it was only win-win. Either they were going to win a load of attacks and set themselves up for success, or they were going to lose some attacks, get themselves over that mental block of, hey, we've lost a few attacks, we've lost some rounds to Furia, doesn't matter, we've got the nice side to finish out on. They wanted to be the horse that ran in, and they came in strong right at the end. That's exactly what they did.
Look what it means to them. They know exactly what this means to get one up in the quarterfinals here. 7-5 was the score. Furia, potentially the world champions on the ropes here.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, they will know how to, obviously they know how to win on the stage, but this wasn't part of their plan. They've picked into a map for Liquid that Liquid aren't supposed to like, that Furia do like, that was supposed to be the one. In a best of three, I will keep saying it, in a best of three, you're supposed to win your map pick, your opponent's supposed to win their map pick, and then you decide it out on the decider. It's never in the script to lose your own map pick.
It's all up in the air as we keep moving forward here at the Blastar 6 Manchester Major. Leo is standing by. We were talking about attacks. Leo, talk us through some of Liquid's creative attacking prowess.
Thanks a lot, Ian. Indeed, I think this was the biggest difference maker for Liquid to take the map, is what that was winning that one single attack round, the second one actually, especially one of the hardest bomb site to attack. We're looking at top floor, cafe, and you have an incredible setup from Furia, really aggressive. One in Cigar, playing aggressive here towards top red. One in Pixel, preventing the rappel in minibar, and then one in stock, looking at the stage rappel in. Now, it's not any operator. It's Warden holding into Cigar, so he cannot get flashed with a shotgun close range. At the same time, double caster on that double door. That way he cannot get picked from the stage window. And you see this castle here, all the way, holding a line of sight towards the stage rappel in with this big hole. And at the same time, you have line of sight on bathroom with a shield, with two ADSs. And who is playing on the shield? And this is key, it's Wamai, because Wamai can burn even more utility to be watching towards that midi bar. So incredible setup, lots of utility, all of those to prevent the push from the piano side. Now, how does Liquid prevent that? They actually use the hole, white hallway, double nade, double Grim, and at the same time, they rappel in and push into that Wamai. Wamai then gets picked into 2v1. What do they need to do next? Remove the two other players. One here onto Cocktail, one here on the retake red stairs. Amazing clear here. Maya will push in, get rid of the Cocktail player, get rid of the roamer. Amazing play from one single hole, the white hallway. They get all of the control from that. That's Liquid for you, finding opportunities. Back to you, Ian, on the desk.
Thank you, Leo. Pick up on that fresh.
That attack was so crucial. It was round 2, and me and Leo spent about 4 rounds after that preparing that telestration segment between us, clipping all the various bits, because we was that confident that that attack was going to be the crucial one that would get Liquid through. As I said, it was ballsy to start on the attack, but all they needed was a couple of attacks, and they were going to have a really strong second half.
Well, for Liquid to complete the upset of the year, they of course have to win another map. That is not going to be easy. Join us after the break. A major semi-finals without FURIA feels unbelievable, but it is in the realm of possibility thanks to this Liquid roster on the verge of causing the upset of the year to send out their Brazilian rivals, potentially here in the quarterfinals. They take FURIA's map pick. We now move on to map 2. My name's Ian Chambers with Fresh and Alfama.
Ian, sorry. Hold, stop, pause. We've got to address the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite for this tournament?
What, to win this?
Yeah, to win this entire tournament.
No way.
No?
Why do you ask?
Are you sure? Just in case.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
No?
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, we move.
Let's keep moving. Well, we've got, of course, map 2 coming up. Liquid's pick in Nighthaven. What do you think, Leo? Can they take it all the way?
You know what? I think they can. I think it's their map pick. I think that FURIA has not looked the best on it lately, and I think especially looking at SI, it's where they won the final map, and it was a crazy comeback. But remember, they were down 1-6 on this map. Strategically, it's not the best.
The only thing that we can look back on is results, and they've not won it whilst they've been FURIA. They got beat by FaZe inside of the Brazil League on it. They did win it. Like you say, they won 6 Invitational on it, so in a way, happy memories. But that map, they were down. They were out. They were having to feed off crowd energy and individual performance and just momentum. It wasn't a strategical victory. So if there was a perfect map for Liquid to set themselves up to knock FURIA out of this tournament, in my mind, it's Nighthaven, because Liquid love this map as well.
Game is ready. Just briefly, Manchester, do we want Liquid? Manchester, do we want FURIA? Oof. Oh. It's tough. Let's get back into this with the legendary Intero and Pengu.
Well, thank you so very much. How poetic, as the desk put it, would it be for the door to close on a potential dynasty on the map that really cemented their status in the history of Rainbow Six, not just bringing it out when they did against G2, but then that comeback against FaZe Clan, and boy, oh boy, Liquid could give us, as was said, the upset of the year. Now, obviously we're getting ahead of ourselves. How many of you genuinely thought Liquid would win Cafe? Not many. And I think they're being pretty honest about it. Well, is it the end of the road for FURIA? Does Liquid win? We'll find out as we load into Nighthaven Labs.
Oh man, oh man. FURIA, they are known to perform when the pressure's at its highest. I would say quarterfinals, it's time to show up in the real form that FURIA they can be. But I think the desk nailed this one. They were down 1-6 on Nighthaven Lab, strategically not looking great on it. Historically, as FURIA, not able to win it. And yeah, we say FURIA, we say FaZe, and we've always said Liquid in like that third Brazilian team to be the world champions one day themselves, maybe. But Liquid, they get so close. And I think beating FURIA here would just be such a big testament to them and their improvement so far, but also, of course, the fall of the World Championship roster, because how are they struggling this much? Is it just fatigue? Are they burned out? Have they simply won too many times in a row to want it more? I don't know. Operator bans Monty, Maverick, Asami, and Valkyrie. So the shield operator being deemed, that was annoying on that previous map of Cafe. Let's remove Monty from action. But it was quite nice getting rid of Asami. That's gonna stay the same. The big thing about Nighthaven Labs is it's all about those exterior wall breaches early in the round, kind of like Clubhouse. Maverick will just simplify that process, right? There's a bandit trick, Maverick the wall. There's a Kai Claw, Maverick the wall. There's a Tuber Owl, you can slowly Maverick the wall. My point is, Maverick can simplify every single attacking round. Liquid, they are starting on the attacking side, so they might struggle a little bit more now, because we know FURIA, they love to play Walt and I, rather, the Tuber and the Kite.
So if you didn't tune in to Cafe, I would highly recommend you go back and rewatch it. But if we look specifically at the numbers, EPS, the highest rated player in the entire matchup. Do you want to take a guess as to who it was?
The highest, what, sorry?
The highest rated player in the entirety of Cafe. Who was it?
Of Cafe, Felipox.
You're right.
Yeah, there it is.
The highest rated player was on the losing team. Every single member of Liquid then came next.
Oh.
KZ was the second highest rated player on FURIA, and he was behind every member of Liquid.
Okay.
It was bad for the team. And of course, Bellapox having such success early on really did help FURIA's odds. You're gonna need Herds and JV92 and the rest of the team, frankly. But JV92 and Herds cannot have that same performance or FURIA's done.
For Liquid, I think the biggest thing is there's two ways to play the game. There's playing not to lose, and there's playing to win. Playing not to lose is that you don't want to take that risk, you don't want to make that play, you just want to make it nice and safe and comfortable because you're afraid of the potential possibility of losing. Playing to win means you go for that swing, you go for that rush, you believe in your gunfight opportunities, and you actually play as if you need to perform and do something to win the match. Liquid need to keep their foot on the pedal right now and just keep applying that pressure. Look for those opening kills, look for the gunfights, and if you're someone like Nesk, who is destroying FURIA on defense on Cafe, he's gonna have the confidence right now. And if he can get going in the first couple rounds here, that could quickly build up to a significant round lead for Liquid and start them off on the right foot. Gonna start reaching those garage walls, the mirror window's gonna be eliminated. Liquid a very good pace so far, already taking full catwalk control as well. FURIA playing more far back, playing that C4 downstairs, looking for a punish. But Liquid, they recognize this. They're playing on non-soft discernible floor to stay up alive against those C4s.
Just as we saw in Cafe, FURIA should be riding the favorable side on Nighthaven Labs, but I will say this. Throughout all of its history in competitive play, Nighthaven Labs has been frighteningly well balanced.
Yes, it has.
I mean, there's never really been one meta where Nighthaven Labs has been overwhelmingly defender-sided or attacker-favored. So both teams should have good odds, irrespective of where they go. Well, he had a terrific game in map 1. Nesk will start off well. Down goes KZ, down goes JV92. Maya dropped, Palu finished off as well. Hold on a moment here. The support from FURIA getting the job done. Nesk looking to give Lagonis time as the diffuser goes down. Nade will scramble. It's Solus and Pulse in the post plant. Two outstanding operators to get the job done. They might have the information, but can they capitalize off of it? Diffuser at the halfway marks. Lagonis on in, Nade looking for time. Is just so damn good. First round, first victory for Team Liquid.
I don't know if it's the, the R4C and Ash getting back the ACOG, the box C8 or what it is, but something happened with the scope changes. And ever since then for this stage, Nesk has been turning back the clock. He is so back. He is looking like the young entry player that is just so frightening to go up against, and he does not care. He has no fear in these gunfights. Bellapox, again, the individual standout player for FURIA on Cafe, and now he map number 1. But 2 kills on the flank, a C4 downstairs. That's 3 very quick kills. But because Liquid was so good on the opening duels, that's an equalization down to a 2 versus 2. So no advantage was built there for FURIA by making that massive play around the map. Liquid, I said, need this early aggressive start, get Nesk in that comfortable seat here on Nighthaven Lab. Well, round 1, they've done just that, and they take the plant, and they take the round.
10 seconds remaining.
I feel like I can speak for most Team Liquid fans. I'm not a Team Liquid fan, but I can speak for most of them when I say, don't give me hope.
Yeah, please don't do this to me, just to lose it, right?
Over the last 6 years, Team Liquid have given their fans hope and then ripped it away. This has been an organization with so much success in Brazil, so much success in other esports, but outside of Atlantic City, this team has always come up short on the big stage. How many times do they make it to the Final 4? How many times do they make it to the Final 2?
Yeah. And yet don't win.
It was a year ago in Copenhagen where these two teams did battle, and it's the most beat up I've ever seen Nesk look after a loss. And it was also the starting point of that FURIA dynasty. There's a lot of storylines right now converging. Resets, seemingly imbued by a new player on the team. Maya's come in and he's made Lagonis and Resets both perform better than when Volps was on the squad. Palu now on the board too. Team Liquid with 2 quick kills in the first minute of this round. Another as well to follow up because KZ was in between a rock and a hard place. Palu yet another. Velopox last alive with 1 minute and 40 seconds to go. Barely a scratch on the code of Team Liquid. Second round in a row, the diffuser could go down. Hold on. There we go.
Nice. I mean,
The crowd getting restless. Do something, Velopox.
it's just a 1v5, man. Go for it. Get those exit kills. Come on now.
Timer at this point, almost out of reach of Furia. The crowd showing their displeasure. Liquid wins the round. Another one for Liquid.
I have never seen Furia or back there when called W7M look so scared in a round. They look defeated. Their facial expression, the tactical timeout being down only 0-2, that speaks to the level of mental damage, of lack of confidence, and also perhaps going, guys, this is Nighthaven Labs, and we did a comeback last time, but this is not great. If you were to blur out the team names, the player names, you would think to yourself, oh, Furia destroying Liquid right now, but that's not reality. That was a flawless round from the very second that round started, all the way to when the timer ran out because Diffuser went down effortlessly by Lagonis and by Team Liquid. It is the drone work, the use of the line scans, the entries, everyone being there together again for Liquid. They look much stronger already now than that on Cafe, and this map allows for more flexibility. You can work around the map, verticality, soft destruction. Maya doesn't need a drone, he just walks in. That's just a wallbang from Resets. Palu on the cross, denying the run back. Lion scan comes out. Every single thing working for Liquid.
In terms of numbers, by the way, Nighthaven Labs is technically a defender-sided map. But it is in that coin flip territory. Of all the rounds played, they break down 54% victories for the defenders, 46% victories for the attackers. So it really isn't that defender favored at all. Certainly not like some of the maps that are in the 60s for the defenders. So it comes down to a few things. Operator bans. Furia saw how much shield was being used by Liquid, knows that they bring shields when they play this map domestically, so Furia gets rid of the Monty. Liquid hasn't really needed that Monty through these first 2 rounds.
No.
It also comes down to how comfortable, frankly, are you on this map? In a best of 3 at this level, when the best 8 teams in the world are left, the safe expectation is that you win your map, they win theirs. Furia are in serious trouble. Serious trouble at this moment.
They are. Also because Chalet is, I would say, maybe the strongest map for Furia in this best of 3, but they might have to go because it's the deciding map. The big question for Liquid is this round, though, because this is what the Maverick ban has enabled by Liquid banning it out. They can now play Bandit, Kai, Tuberao, and lock Liquid out of the entire bomb site by simply denying the walls. Furia might not need kills in this round. They can just deny Liquid the opportunity to go for swings.
It's surprising they weren't expecting the Bandit to be in that position. Maybe they thought, oh, he'll be over towards IT. But when you've doubled up on that anti-denial, as you said, you basically have to pick your poison. Do we try to deal with the Electric Claw on one side of it? Do we deal with the Bandit tricking on the other? Herds, 0-3. Only a handful of kills in the previous map. Don't have to worry about the Bandit batteries now, as you'll see Tuberao freeze out that hard destruction on the wall, but it will still go off just a bit belated. It will buy Furia time, which they so desperately need.
Yeah, they pay the exact timing here. This might actually work out if the Kite Claw gets enabled. It's still on the wall, so it's a bit of a 50-50 here. When the freeze goes off the wall, Exotic Charge will have a small brief moment to pop off, so I think this wall might get opened up. Oh, it's so close.
Whoa.
That's why I said 50-50, because you have that very small, like 0.4 seconds or so before the kite claw goes into effect. So successful round there strategically for Furia, but they did lose Hertz.
Things just got really challenging for Liquid. If they didn't have that first pick, I would say even if it was a 5v5, Liquid were not favorites to win this round. But just as we've seen them double up on the side of Furia with that denial, you've got hard destruction denial as well, but JV92 might not be finding a lot of kills, but excellent utility work so far.
Oh, absolutely. Like, perfect, honestly. The fact that he almost died there running back towards the side, a little bit risky, but because he escaped, he's not going to stall down further. But Ness is in the building.
No, I mean, he was, and then he wasn't. KZ sends him into the afterlife. Over towards Electrical. Now Maya looking to open up a greater window to the bomb sites. Furia in a much better position than they were just a minute ago. And all of it coming down to utility usage.
Oh.
KZ's feeling one right now. Say goodbye to Maya. Palu drops, but suddenly damage being done. Maya is still very much on the board, as is resets. It's all up to Maya. Monstrous round from KZ to give life to his teammates and give Furia a much-needed round victory. Liquid losing that one not off of kills, but off of gadgetry.
Exactly. They couldn't get all the hard destruction they wanted, enough pressure applied to their opponents, and therefore couldn't get in the building in a proper, safe way. So it leads something to Nesk jumping in the window, taking that chance, and playing from less than optimal positions. But that's, again, the beauty of Siege. You can play strategically. You can play about, for kills. Furia, they are a team that can play both sides of that coin. Liquid, they're mostly about just, wanting to execute. They want to get down that diffuser. To get that, you got to get certain kills, certain map control. But Casey with a nasty one-tap and just individual heroics. Felipox did it on Cafe. It wasn't enough. Casey now slowly warming up into it, finding his moment in those rounds. But you need Furia as a team to show up. We need Hertz to be enabled. I cannot remember the last time Hertz have had as bad as a best of 3 so far. And this is only the 4th round starting in the 2nd map. And it's like, wow, that's terrible. His performance for Hertz.
Think you finished map number 1 with what? 4 kills?
Yeah, a handful of kills. It wasn't many.
Hertz and JV90, Hertz, Nade, and JV92 all finished map 1 with 4 kills. That means JV92 is at 5 in total. Hertz is still at 4.
Yep.
These are some of the worst games for these two players that we have seen since they joined the core of this team.
Yeah.
Now, here's one of the things about interregional matchups. You know your opponent inside and
really
out.
well.
It is an absolute grab bag when it comes to predictions between these teams. You play each other so frequently. You might even scrim each other. We know people on both Liquid and Furia hang out together. These are not just adversaries, but friends. Things change when you have to go up against opponents in other regions that you don't usually play against. But right now, Liquid looks like they have Furia's number. Maybe not this round, as Maya is the first to die. Felipox taking quite a lot of damage.
Oh.
Herds with both kills so far. That's all he's gonna get for this round. Lagona's taking him out.
That's 2 big kills. It slows down the interest of Liquid. Of course, Hertz himself finds some confidence now, making a big play. And now Furia, they can peel back, play those layers. You start very aggressively around the map, very extended. Try and shut down the entries. Okay, you get 2 kills. Now fall back to that 2nd step, the staircases. When Liquid, they got a double, triple drone everything. JV still roaming top floor for a late round flank possibly. Then when the pressure is too much, you fall back towards the bombs at that basement portion of the map. So now Furia, they're playing the clock, they're playing the numbers advantage, and they got top floor control for flank.
KZ's been the best player so far on this team, this map. Another one for him looks relatively easy as Liquid stalled out. Now seemingly wandering into the building with limited information. 2 for Herds on the round, then he died. 2 for KZ. He stays alive, it's all up to Palu. And he can't silence KZ. All 5 kills coming from those 2 players visible on your screen, sitting next to one another. Tie game.
It's crazy how fast he can turn. I mean, tactical timeout doing wonders there. Coaching staff of Furia or the players themselves may be saying, guys, this is not the team that we are. We are so much better. Don't be afraid. And, the thing about being a player on the side of Furia is that you have been so dominant for so long that you very rarely find yourself in a losing position Sure, we always went to SI that happened in February not that long ago against FaZe, where they were down 1-6, and somehow they found the energy, they found the motivation to fight it all the way out and win in overtime 8-6. 7 rounds straight. But outside of that, usually FURIA, they are a very winning team. So when a team like Liquid, who they seem as way less superior than them, start beating them like this...
FURIA!
Let's go FURIA. It's their one fan in the crowd.
Is he smacking himself in the head?
I believe so. But yeah, when you're not used to losing, when it actually does happen, it can be very difficult to deal with in the moment as a player. That was my point.
I will say this, crowd's lived up to its billing so far. But I imagine it will only get louder because I assume there will be more people here tomorrow. It is a weekend after all. You saw BDS advance already. The crowd seemed quite content with that.
Oh yeah.
Based on the reaction to these two teams, yeah, Liquid seems to be the crowd favorite, but we just saw the FURIA chance as well. You just want the crowd to go home happy.
That's it. That's the biggest thing, isn't it? Oh boy, so we saw FURIA there go from swings, again playing very aggressive, shutting Liquid on those injury punches, and that's where the multiplay comes into effect, because in the first 2 rounds, FURIA were playing like pretty safe on the bomb side, no multi needed, but now Liquid having a hard time finding out any door or window where there's not a player roaming around, waiting for a gunfight, and this is exactly where you'd want to play the multi if you're Liquid. Play multi, Doki be Lion, deny them from roaming, you can't do that. No blitz in this round, so it has to be really good drone work. And getting players close together on the attack. Try and get a trade going. You can trade 1 for 1, but as long as you get in the building, it's fine.
Logic bombs being used and Candelas as well.
Okay. Outline. I got scared for a second there. I was like, he just swung and didn't see him.
Could be a tricky one. 3rd round in a row that FURIA's been the one to break the ice. JV92 soldiering onwards, but now in a very tough predicament. Maya takes damage in the process, but gets the kill for Liquid. A 4v4, down goes KZ. That's a head that Liquid is eager to have on the wall this round. A trophy kill, so to speak. 1 minute left in the round, Liquid with a 4v3 advantage. Maya needs to stay alive for a little bit longer as the Solus in his sights, losing some of the safety of the wall as there goes the impact. Lagonis now attempting the diffuser as the Candelas go off. Felipox eliminating Maya. Now it's Nade under fire. Nice shot by Nade. He pops up, diffuser's right in front of him. Surely he won't hop on it and try the counter disable. 2 remain from Liquid as the timer will continue to run away. Positioned outside, resets and Lagonis. The 2 support players, and there's a long arm. The bees will go in. Solus watching, no coverage though, resets the flank. Taking no prisoners. It's all up to Herds though to get on the diffuser in time. You might have thought that Liquid would win that round, but no. Herds gets the job done. FURIA takes the lead.
Very small issue there on the plant position from Liquid. By playing close to the window, you can long arm it from inside the built room. If you plant on the far side of that angle, they cannot. Maya did such a great job there, baiting in the basement, just sacrificing his own life to ensure the bomb would go down by distracting the Solus for long enough to enable the rest of his team. But again, when there's a small oversight in the plant, it can fall apart very quickly. A great early round for Liquid, a great mid round for them as well, but just the wrong plant spot. They didn't have a good enough post plant to win that round. It's a great shot.
I think that's how we all felt.
Yeah.
The one thing that's working out so effectively for FURIA over the last couple rounds is intel denial. Liquid on both Cafe and then those first 2 rounds of Nighthaven Labs showed so much promise when they could get into the building.
Yeah.
Either they'd take map control quickly or they would get one of the leadoff picks. The tides have turned though. Whether it's because of the Solus, whether it's because of other things that we might not see, there really haven't been any observation blockers. Mute hasn't been played all that much. Has shown up now and then.
I think the Solar is a big issue for Liquid because they like to get the drones inside the building during that prep phase, and that's no longer possible because Solas will just find those drones and you lose them early. So you see Liquid, they keep 4 drones usually outside the building in the beginning of the round. That means they have no intel when the round starts as what's actually happening, and it's slowing down the entries. They have less information to make decisions with, which in turn also means that the plan might not be 100%. For example, do they know that this is once again that wall deny strat, the Chalet 2-barrel bandit? They only lost 2 drones in prep phase. They might not have seen all 3 operators, and now they have to guess, okay, which wall do we breach? In which order? And how do we get there? And I think Liquid knows because they're trying to go into the building first, then breach later, instead of starting on the exterior.
Last 2 rounds, FURIA struck first. Round before that might as well have been a draw. With the way that FURIA is playing, all of these have bought them time and map control that they can hold on to for a little while longer. Saw one of those early death marks used by resets. Still got 2 in pocket. As we near the halfway point, an Electric Claw tucked up into the rack. Not visible from down below. An explosive could take care of it. There we go. They get the ping. But it's a tricky angle. Nitro cell dropped. Velopox almost dies. Palu sees the explosion. His ears will ring, but no damage is done. A relatively slow round now between these teams.
It's all about that utility. Oh,
never mind. Velopox and JV92. 2 kills back to back in this, just a blink of an eye. Now it's Lagonis to die to a Nitro cell. Liquid. They were so good to start with, but there's just seems like they've run out of gas at this point. Shotgun out, and KZ buries the 2 best players of Liquid. First half in the books. Liquid sprung out to a 2-0 lead. FURIA called their timeout. And since then, FURIA has not dropped a round.
This goes to show how big of an impact a strategical change can be, because what happened after that tactical time was that they started playing a slower pace. Again, the 2-barrel Candid and the 2-barrel Kite and Bandit rather combo that happened top floor, that was round number 3. Now it happened round number 6 as well. That's been their style. They just played nice and slow every single round. We see Liquid, they don't know how to break it apart. And to make matters even worse, it wasn't FURIA that banned the Maverick thinking, we're gonna play a very nice and safe bomb site here. No, Liquid. They banned the Maverick, and they do not seem prepared on how to deal with the Kite Claws, how to get inside the map. And I mean, they started playing Deimos, that's what are you gonna do with that? You're outside the window, you can't get in. When he does, it's good by Solos downstairs. Liquid gotta find that same kind of performance on their defensive half now, but that's what happened on Cafe. Wasn't the attacks from Liquid that were thinking, oh my god, they're popping off. It was Nesk on Mamai, on Cafe and Piano, just starting that comeback himself.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
See if Maya can join him. It's 5-5 so far. It's Nesk on the Bandit, Maya on mute. Liquid also playing for drone and wall denial here to try and keep FURIA out of the map, just like they did to Liquid.
I mean, if you just solely look at numbers, now you could say Liquid's on the better side again, right? We do call it a coin flip map. But the defenders do have an advantage, albeit small. If you're a Liquid fan, you are hoping that even just a couple percentage points is enough to get Liquid back into this because, well, it's felt like a wake over the last 4 rounds for Liquid fans. FURIA, though, showing exactly why they are the team that is so feared by everybody else around the world and everybody else at this event.
Pace though is good, only a minute burned, and we see FURIA, KC already on first floor control, but we see the silhouettes though Liquid, there's still a floor above, so they're cutting them up in half, leaving Nesk upstairs with Maya by his side. FURIA, if they know there's too many roamers, they could rush the bomb site if they can get that intel, but the mute jammers making that very difficult.
Herds will start it off again. He's woken up. He heard us talking-ish. Now KZ throws out one flashbang, looking for a 10th kill. Velopox eliminates Palu, resets, dies as well. FURIA annihilating Team Liquid on these rounds. Nade now reads into Nesk. Lagonis in a 1v5 with a minute 20. Velopox found himself in this exact same spot back in round number 2. It'll be won flawlessly by FURIA. An unbelievable performance by the defending world champions, but frankly, this sort of thing should not surprise you. This is what we've come to expect of them over the last couple months, over the last year. Liquid did not burn their timeout in the previous round because why do it when you've only got one round to go in that half? Now, you're staring down the barrel of being on the defending side, and more importantly, you're staring down the barrel of a FURIA victory. And as you pointed out, Chalet is a great map for FURIA.
Oh, yeah.
If you're Liquid, you gotta get it done in 2.
I thought the big challenge was going to be Cafe. Liquid, they conquered that one, and then Night Haven Live, it started out exactly like I thought it would, but then I've been so wrong in my prediction ever since because Liquid have been unable to identify their problems on the attacking side. That's okay, but then they have a flawless loss of a round in their first defense. Oh my days. And this is more the FURIA that we know and might love, where individually they are just monsters in the server. The reaction time, the mechanical skill, the ability to find kills seemingly out of nowhere. And Hurt's awake. He's now 5-4. KC, he's 10-3. The only player that we haven't seen all that much from is JV92, but he hasn't really been needed so far in Night Haven Live because other players have stepped up instead. After a timeout like that, we gotta see big changes from Liquid. It's funny because when FURIA started losing, they called the timeout, they went top 4, and then they played Bandit, Tubarao, Kaid. Liquid, they start losing defense. They also go this bomb site with the exact same lineup, but I'll say the same thing as I did on Cafe. If Team A, FURIA in this case, they bring out a strat, they use the Kai clause, they use the player positions, and then Liquid copy the exact same thing, if a team would know the counter, it would be the team that started it. FURIA, they know exactly where every single win condition is here for Liquid. They should have a way to pick this apart perfectly. But it comes down to execution for FURIA. Step 1 is, of course, to drone the entries in. Step 2, well, Amaru, I frankly have no idea what the plan is, but it could go fast if they have to.
Just to go based off of numbers, by the way, Maya, highest rated player on Liquid. His rating will improve with the opening pick. But every member of FURIA, except for JV92, is above Maya. This is not just 1 or 2 players failing, this is the whole team failing at this point. FURIA functioning like a well-oiled machine. Liquid in need of some repairs.
This is how that they need. IQ also being taken off the board early means that those kite claws, now you have to guess what they are, and you probably can guess it if you're FURIA, but it just makes things a bit more complicated. They have those secondary MPs in pocket of JV, so when they want to, they can make a play, but right now, they're actually looking their attention towards the Aqua Fish staircase instead. Perhaps looking for a backstab. Amaru shotgun up a staircase. No, he's dead as well. Nate's off the board.
These rounds have all been so one-sided.
Yeah.
Whoever strikes first tends to just snowball onwards. The Liquid Avalanche seems to be coming. Just as Liquid was frozen out on their attack, they have to do the same to FURIA. Demo's still on the board along with the Dokkaebi and the Thermite.
Okay. I was like, he's trying to see 4-0 there.
I don't think it's gonna get much, but the killing will do the work instead. Palu eliminating JV92, the last logic bomb it just rang, so not much more utility to be used. 2 flashes. In pocket of KZ, 1 nade. In pocket for Felipox. Still searching for that opening. Nobody from FURIA on the board with 1 minute to go. They managed to get the breach open though. Hold on, KZ finding one opportunity on Palu. Almost had another. He'll have to do all the work himself. Felipox is eliminated by Maya. Now inside of Electrical. Crossfire established. Huge round for Maya. Wait a minute.
Was that Demos?
That was Demos.
In the crowd. Oh!
Wait, Demos is a bad guy. Boo! But your cosplay's good. Yay!
He is the trophy as well, so, you know. It's pretty cool.
What if instead of lifting the trophy, they lifted that person?
Yes! The winning team?
Would you like that? Would you be lifted up by the winner? You cut what he did. We'll never know.
Liquid, they start what could be a very long way back into this map. And it starts off with utility. It pays off massively. Second attempt, in very similar fashion to FURIA, they will do the same bombs at rotation. Go to stock downstairs, utilize the same couple of operators. The Tuberau, the Bandit, the Mirror, of course. And with this bombs being a bit more dynamic. You're playing top floor, you're playing basement. You bring out the Solus as well. Get that full trifecta. You play all 3 floors now. Plant the knife from below. Utility up above. And of course have one anchor player on the bomb site itself in case any FURIA members want to get sneaky and find their way into the site itself. I like the switch here. Was banned out on Cafe previously by Liquid. Now we see JV trying to find some value with this particular operator. Could be the default cameras, the mute jammers, bandit charge, etc. Right now, just, yeah, a single jammer. Finds one player location. It's gonna drone elsewhere, but Hurts, quick entry in the basement. Lighters to try and find the Solus of Palu, who isn't there just right now. He's actually top floor instead, so the basement is safe for now.
Hurts is just guiding himself in. It doesn't look like there's any drones right now working through the basement. Whether or not he'll be joined in just a moment, anyone's guess. Solus and mute on the board. Only real intel denial operator missing is Mozzie, who doesn't really see much play here on most of the maps. Though was present on the BDS Team Secret matchup on Bank, if you saw. Really does come down to the team's application, but finding those drones, eliminating information for FURIA is critical for Liquid. And they've got the tools to do it as they hit the halfway point of the round.
I think FURIA's done a really good job here, just like feeling out what exactly is happening right now. They're happy to play a very slow-paced round, IQ below with the bug by his side, do some vertical destruction, figure, okay, are Liquid gonna play basement? Okay, they're not. But do they have an area on that first primary floor that they really want to bunker down? Well, we saw the mute just hiding Lagonis, likely by the bomb side with those mute jammers. But with a minute left, FURIA, they're approaching the bomb site itself. Now we need to see the verticality from up above here from Palu, and this is great. Solus primary shotgun, SMG-11 secondary, and the scanner to find out where the plant might be going down. Lagonis has to stay alive for as long as possible to allow the members of Liquid up above to succeed.
And there go the smokes, heralding the entry to the bomb site. Nade will walk in first, but there's a soul through the smoke to get the job done. Just another day at the office for Palu, but now KZ above will botch the execute. Palu yet another. Lagonis giving Liquid some life of his own. Maya taking damage. Fellapox and Herd still in good shape. Diffuser in the hands of Fellapox. Can't hit the shot though. The bars will stop him in his tracks. Final 20 seconds and it's a 1v4 for Herds. Liquid doubled up. And a huge round from Palucifer himself, sending FURIA to hell.
They played the round in reverse for Liquid. Almost every single team will play a Pulse or Solus below. That's where we saw Hurts go downstairs. But they played the Solus top floor. And I truly don't think that FURIA knew there was a Solus in action. And this is the problem. When Solus doesn't go banned in a operator ban phase, the possibility of the Solus leaves you away from joining the building itself, and now you lack intel. KC tried to strike upstairs and, you know, flank at the right time, but it's too little too late. Paolo wins 4 gunfights in this round for all 4 kills.
Solus's scanner and SMG-11, that's all you need. The shotgun that was technically the primary weapon for the Solus showed up briefly, but that was really it. You didn't see it beyond that. I can hear myself. Oh, I don't like that. You get so used to hearing the sound in your head that you hate it when you hear it outside of that.
10 seconds to go.
I'd rather hear you lovely people.
5 seconds remaining.
No? Okay.
They did not agree with that one.
They didn't want it.
They said, we've cheered enough for
Attackers
now.
must
All right, I'll
locate
just-
and defuse a bomb.
They'll come back. This is gonna be okay.
Numbers on the side of Team Liquid, though, vastly improving over these last couple rounds.
Reload!
Assault on the bottom floor now. One of the strengths of FURIA was the ability to keep Liquid out of these bomb sites using operators like Bandit, like Kaid. Liquid will just run with the Bandit and time for trickery.
Oh, success. They're all gonna peel off. That burned almost 60 seconds alone though. Had there not been a Bandit there, had Reset failed the jungle, that buys FURIA so much space by pressuring the bomb site, maybe forcing those roamers of Liquid to come back towards the site itself. Now, they spent the first 6 seconds doing basically nothing in this round, forcing FURIA to speed up on the roam clear. That's where things can get dangerous. We have active Yokais droning for the roamers and an active roam game, or they might just rush the side here with Ying.
I mean, it's a dangerous gamble. There's only one Nitro Cell though. That's it. But you've got toxic canisters, you've got Yokai drones.
They have no idea.
Liquid are very uniquely suited to shut this down if they knew. There's no guarantee they will though. They were on cams, most of them. Nade taking a bit of damage. Maybe the jig is up for this quick entry by FURIA. Now it's Felipox taking damage too. Low Nitro Cell. Rip maybe a bit early. Onto the door frame. Looking to take out Nade. It will find nothing. JV92 first kill. Buys his team some breathing room. And what looked like a rush has slowed down. FURIA will go back to Discovery. Or maybe not. Pace a little bit off. Palu is there. Beautiful shot from KZ to get rid of Nesk. Nesk has been absent through most of this matchup. Candela's still dumped down in the same area. Smokes as well as toxic canisters ring through. Palu looking for something. Resets, gets in on the fun. Palu doubles up. KZ on very low HP. JV92 isn't even on the same floor as the bomb site.
They're trying to bait it. But they bought space to the roamers, but they lost the bomb site control. Now Diffuser's on the ground.
And now they'll have to rotate. Right back to square one.
But now, go back to where you started? I mean, I guess. Out in the breach you go. KZ's in. 13 kills so far. Could find more.
Trying to gain their attention, tucked away in the corner. Liquid will give him no quarter, resets, 3 kills to his name. Palu jumps in as well. The gap has closed.
A team starts losing, you take your tactical timeout, you start winning, but there's none left now. It's 5-5.
This is exactly what happened on Cafe. This is a repeat of map 1. Liquid struggled early. Well, not struggled, they won the first 2 rounds, but then they struggled beyond that. But now, as it comes down to the wire, Team Liquid showing why they were one of the teams to go on such a tear at the end of stage 1, the end of the play-ins. Try as you might to vanquish them. They just hung around. And now it's FURIA. Of all the teams that you would think would have struggles against Liquid, this probably isn't one of them, and yet here they are. If FURIA wins this round, huge moment for them, but they still have to win Chalet to persevere. If Liquid wins this round, it's series point.
Yeah. And I know it might seem silly to like hype it up all that much, but like this is just a quarterfinal, sure. But for Liquid, they're playing the best team in the world who's supposed to win this entire event. And by beating FURIA, they put themselves on the map as a team that could go all the way to the grand finals themselves because of taking down one of the best teams to ever do it. And a big surprise at that, given the start Liquid had in stage 1 here in Brazil, or in Brazil rather, where they look really sloppy. Now, I think Liquid, they have found their style right now, how they want to play these rounds, but it still will always come down to, can you shut down KC? Of all the players that are struggling, it ain't him. He's there, finding kills, finding openings, and as long as he's alive, I think FURIA, they always have a chance to win that round.
Herd's inching his way towards the beachhead that's been established, but there's a default cam still up. How does this happen for a team like FURIA? Doesn't matter, they might have information. Lagonis dies to Felipox. Now is not the time for Liquid to get cute with these engagements. Mai eliminates KZ, that's a huge kill. He's been unequivocally the best player for FURIA through this map. Also, no EMPs anymore. If you want to deal with any of that gadgetry, if you still wanted to use that last exothermic charge somewhere, how about the 2 Selmas? Well, the electricity is going to be a big adversary.
mean, you take Lagonis out, who can IGL from the grave, to the top gunner of KC. I mean, that alone, despite the operators, definitely favors Liquid. And they got, again, multiple win conditions. Paolo, late round flank on the Solus, will always know if there's a flank camp watching him or if the flank is clear. Felibox has a read, though, has the sound cue, and so Paolo is clueless.
Completely clueless, but elsewhere. Herds was looking for that kill onto Nesk, but he wins that one out. Nesk has to worry about what lies below. The support from Furia needs to be the leadership on this team at the moment for this round. Not a lot of kills between Nade and JV. Same cannot be said for Maya and Resets. Not carrying the team, but Liquid as a whole have bounced back, Nick. And now we hit the final minute in a 3v3 of an incredibly crucial round.
This is actually very hard to play as defending team of Liquid. You have so many different places that the attackers can attack you from. Below, Connector, Fish, Aqua Stairs, and Garage Catwalk. So you have only 3 people to hold 3 different angles, but there are 5 or 6 different positions that could be attacking you, essentially. They gotta communicate who's gonna hold what.
And Nesk is in a vulnerable position. Resets will be now 2, as there goes some of the wall. Walking away as those hard breach gadgets being used, a little bit belated, but perfectly timed for Furia at the moment. A swing and a miss for JV92 as Resets gets the pick. Now it's Nade on the trade. It's all up to Felipox in a 1v2. He gets Nesk looking the wrong way. Maya with 10 seconds left. All he needs to do is survive. Felipox will go for the revive. Does Maya know this is happening directly to his left? A nice gun down, but the timer needs to work for Nade!
You have to collect yourself if you're Liquid right now. One thing is, when you're in the 1 round away from losing, you might feel like, oh boy, this might be it. But when you're 1 round away from winning, just like FaZe at the 6 Invitationals finals in February, you can start feeling like, oh no, making that play is difficult now. Your risk assessment will change. Does Maya go for that swing if that's match point? I'm not sure. He should. He has to. But will he? 6-5 for Liquid. Just 1 more round left, and Maya is having his main character moment in Liquid for this tournament.
And I have bad news.
Uh-oh. What's the bad news, Parker?
We have a rehost.
On match point of all rounds, Parker, really?
I love the booze.
Why would they do that?
I love the booze. People get shaken by booze. I eat it up.
You're the biggest hater, that's why.
I am a professional hater.
Can we get 1 more boo for the rehost? Thank you. It does suck, I agree. Now I will say, there have been times in the past where players are slow to join the server, yada yada yada. We've been pretty good at it lately, okay? Rehost happens.
Stop
players,
saying we.
It's us.
You don't play anymore.
Let me live a little, okay? I am as close as I will ever be again to playing on that stage, but being right behind it, talking over the match. I feel as if I'm almost a part of it, okay? We, as a community, as a unit, we have gotten pretty good at making those technical pauses as short as possible. That's a good thing.
I'll allow it.
Thank you.
But watch yourself, Counselor. You're on thin ice. Why do we have to do our job? The crowd will do our jobs for us.
Let's go rehost. We're almost there. You're doing so great.
The stamina of the crowd is very impressive. All right, I want to go for a cheap pop here. I'm going to poll you on the remaining 4 teams. I've lost control. I've lost control.
You tend to do this, Parker. You create a monster.
I didn't create this.
You did a round up at the beginning. You got them going. Now they're just doing their part. Good news, though. I believe we are just seconds away. Wait, I lied. That's my... See, that was my bad. That was my bad. I jinxed us. I did this.
All right, hold on. There are 4 other teams that will play later today, and I want to know what you think about them, because I've seen in the crowd a whole bunch of different jerseys. What do you think of FaZe Clan?
Okay. Mixed bag.
They're playing Beast Coast. How do you hate both of those teams? So what happens when they have to play each other? Are you just going to boo both of them? Later on in the day, the final match, M80. They don't even care about M80.
They have Europeans, come on.
You know, that's what they say, you know, if people are cheering you, that's good. If people are booing you, that's also good. If people don't care, they won't do either.
Ooh.
So let me try it one more time. What do you think of M80? Yes or no?
It's pretty good.
Last but not least, Dark Zero. That is not what I expected.
They do love America.
So you love America.
Make it make sense. Wait. Is it because of Nave? Ah, that makes sense. Nave's my boy too.
Stop, you don't play, they don't pay you anymore.
I'm a fan of him, what can I say?
You don't work for Dark Zero anymore.
I don't. I now work for a team that barely made it to the last day of Phase 2. Fabian is squad of Koreans.
G2?
Oh, they didn't make it past Phase 1, Parker. You might have gotten your teams confused.
Of course, my bad.
Yeah, that early exit was a heartbreaker. I saw people on Twitter going, you know, I only came here to watch G2, and they didn't even make it to the second phase. I'm like, you know, I'm so sorry, but you should get, you know, become a fan of better teams then.
I can't help but note that you were affiliated with DZ, PSG Talent, and G2, and 2 of those 3 aren't here.
Oh, that's relevant. That's my doing, huh?
No, I'm just saying that maybe you have poor judgment with teams.
Okay. I also was a part of G2 when they won stuff.
Oh, okay.
And... Ooh.
They can see the screens on their screens. They know that we are getting back into the game. In all sincerity, thank you for being good sports while we kill time to get back into the matchup. Before we play, give yourselves a round of applause, please.
Well deserved.
This is a momentum killer for Liquid. Let's not mince words here. This was a team that now has mounted a very impressive comeback and is on the precipice of greatness, knocking FURIA out of this event. On their own map, Liquid should win. If they don't get it done now, they will have at least 1 to 2 more opportunities to do it in overtime. But dynasty killers, Nick.
I was gonna say, for the side of FURIA, it's not so much the opponent they're playing, because that doesn't matter. FURIA playing... Oh. Send them home. You know, FURIA, they're not playing Liquid right now. They're playing Prime 2019 G2 to become the undisputed best team to ever do it, and they need this map. They need this series, and they need this major to get there. If they get sent home now by Liquid, their dynasty, their history run will end just as it began in February. Very short-lived. FURIA on that possible final round. They will play Blitz, a very high-risk operator that can get you those kills extremely quickly, but can also die immediately upon entering the building.
A very feast or famine operator. we could be 2 minutes away from watching the Dynasty end in front of our very eyes. It was in Copenhagen a year ago that Furia's domination began.
Yeah.
And they did it by knocking out Liquid in the grand finals. It might have taken a year, but Liquid could, presumably, have the last laugh. A team that, after the first 3 weeks of Brazil League, at the start of this year, looked like they were on an express train to nowhere. And now, could potentially be the second team to clinch a spot in tomorrow's semifinals. What a story it's been from Liquid. And if this is the end, what a story it's been from Furia as well.
Absolutely, it's can only praise them for what they've done so far, but of course, more always wants more. Hurts, we've been kind of doubtful about his performance so far, but he might be the hero that they need for this round. He's on that primary operator at least. They got the Jackal as well, they can isolate players, but last time they went for that bombs that execute, they struggled with the Solos above. That could still be an issue here as well, because there's still presence for Liquid across all 3 floors, but this time Paolo is on the primary, that main floor. So for the Galaxy, might not be their biggest obstacle. Those smokes can go out. Cover has to be there, though.
Jackal will guide in the Blitz, who's already taken quite a bit of damage.
That's not good.
Herds has one smoke in pocket. There goes an impact. Look at Maya, looking to do more damage. Now engaging, but somehow puzzlingly missing this engagement. It's Palu firing through the smoke. Lugonis drops. Down goes Herds at the hands of Maya, but Philippox reads into that one so well. Castle barricade being torn down, reset, watching the Nitro cell, and Nade gets the diffuser down, but not before another kill can come in from Liquid. Palu removed. It's all up to resets and Nesk. Resets with one, diffuser within reach. Spam pings going out as well to give Liquid information. JB92 ending Nesk. Resets must clutch, if not, it'll be OT. Resets hopping on the diffuser, they'll have the information, and overtime, of course, will be on the board. Liquid never makes it easy on their fans, and Furia is a team that has proven themselves impossible to kill.
Last time they played that bomb set for Liquid, they had a pretty clear win condition of how to punish their opponent, but this time, it was just almost all defenders on the same floor, just taking 50-50 gunfights, and Liquid, for the first time in a long while, they didn't really play it as a team. There was like 5 seconds or so pause between every single death from Liquid. No trade, no follow-up. And we saw Furia, they have top floor control. They had basement control for a long while. They locked them out of that round from the very beginning, and they did it quickly. That technical pause, yeah, momentum killer. When you sit there in a technical pause, you cannot talk to your teammates or your coaching staff, but you can sit in your own head and go, guys, what could we do for this upcoming round with this pause that we have? And then when you finally get back into it, say, guys, I thought about this, we should attack it this way. What Furia did was very decisive, and it was off the rip the second we're back in action. They certainly had a really good plan, specifically tailored for that attack. The good thing if you're Liquid, though, you will start overtime on the defensive half, which is exactly where you want to be.
Yeah, I mean, you get the favored side at least once. If you bottle this one, then you go to attack, and well, things get a little bit more difficult. But if you win your defender halves, then that third and final round of OT will surely favor Liquid. But of course, there is also a bomb site rotation to keep in mind. JV92 has been relatively invisible through this entire series. 3 massive kills in the previous round. There are so many threats on both of these teams that all it takes is one round for Herds to wake up, JV92 to wake up, Palu to wake up, and it turns the entire round on its head. You're gonna need Herds and JV92 in overtime right now, as the pressure on both of these teams will be more than at any point it has been so far in this series.
It's a perfect round for Furia. They can beat the test. It's the same exact setup as the first time Liquid they went to this bomb site. Again, with the wall deny, the mirror windows. Now they need to show the counters. MP goes out, as does the Selmet. That's step number 1. The external breach opened up. The 2 barrel canisters from the Gonis, very late in that round, mistimed. That ass breach denied the mirror window. So within 1 minute and 20 seconds, Furia, they've gotten full quote-unquote map control of the garage portion and the IT wall. That's a great first half for them.
I was looking at where Nesk was doing the lineup, and I was, where is the Nitro Cell gonna go?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I don't know if those Selmas got frozen out by the Zoto canisters. They did not. This is the same spot that Nesk has found himself in time and time again. The exact same part of the map.
Yeah, I mean, this is where it gets a little bit predictable because you're doing the exact same thing, but the outcome right now is changing because I would say FURIA right now are making all the right moves. You see Hurts, he's cut off the bomb site like somewhat in the middle. And now if Liquid move too much, they'll die to Hurts. If they stand still, block below. Maya though.
Maya was the one who won this round for Liquid before. And there's the bonus catching JV92 looking the wrong way. Liquid cracking open this round. Herds and JV92, the two players I said you needed a big round from, have already gone. But you've still got KZ. You've still got Fellapox.
Oh.
You lose Nade. The Vector shredding through. On catwalk now, KZ looking for something, Fellapox dies. Liquid lost momentum with that lengthy pause between rounds. They could gain it back by winning this one flawlessly. But will KZ give them a fight? He sees the bandit, down goes reset. Oh my, hold on, is this winnable? 10 seconds left, Maya says no! Liquid back on series point again.
They're playing to win. They're not scared. They are still disrupting FURIA before they can execute. And a very unanimous decision there to say send them home, of course, going to FURIA. Now Liquid gotta attack. It's not easy, but they bought themselves a round lead. Even if they were to fail here, they still get that upcoming defensive round. We saw the flank from the Gonis, the swing from Maya to again disrupt FURIA. That's been the biggest playmaking decision that Liquid's been making so far, especially on Cafe. They want the 5v5, don't give it to them. Just try and play aggressive, trade the bodies.
What are they booing?
I'm not entirely sure.
What are you booing? FURIA, there you go. Then what are you booing? I just hear a FURIA cut right through the crowd.
Attacker's objective is to defuse the bomb.
Listen, if you want Liquid to win, they need them to communicate. They cannot hear each other, guys. You're too loud.
That is the loudest this barn has been all day. Based on what they said about FaZe Beast Coast, I just imagine a chorus of boos. Liquid struggled to close out the previous opportunity sitting on series points. And if you recall, they had some challenges with IT. But that's an electrical down. Zoto canisters will eventually expire as well, and Liquid is desperate to open up that IT breach. No, not into the breach.
Not that one.
IT breach. IT is the site, not the team. Just in case.
But they're not here anymore.
Just in case anybody was confused.
Actually, I think they're sticking around as players, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Either way.
But they are a British.
Good look.
Yeah. IT has now been opened up, and it's taken half of the round to accomplish it.
Yeah. I mean, the good news is that because Nesk was downstairs, they've also gotten a bit of pressure. I think he's rotated now, though that's been surrendered back to the side of FURIA. There are, you know, 2 C4s and a Solid, so if Liquid, they approach this bomb site later on, they need to get a drone or a player downstairs to make sure that that doesn't mess up the entire round, because we know Liquid, they love to go for a plant attempt, and a C4 or Solid is the #1 way to deal with that. But we see Nesk downstairs, C4 prepped above the generator. With the wrong timing, Nesk could fall.
They're lined up and ready for the swing in through electrical. A nitro cell is there. Herds could blow this round up for Team Liquid. FURIA not restless in the slightest. An incredibly experienced team, and
Missed it.
but the EMP goes off. Smart goggles might have just been removed from the warden. A Zoto canister as well. Herds eliminating Palu. Liquid will need to get some kills now. They've got Herds. The Warden swinging. KZ picking up a double. He's eliminated though. Liquid trailing in numbers despite all of it, but Reset says not today. He's in a 1v2, but prone on the ground. He needs to ensure he doesn't get swung on. No real information, and JV92 guarantees us every single round on Nighthaven. Win or lose, Liquid has pushed FURIA to the brink, and that's something to be proud of, but you cannot go to Chalet if you're Liquid. You cannot. It's too good of a map for FURIA.
It really is. It's the very big worry, and again, especially when you win Cafe, a map that I thought there's no chat. Oh, that's a good meme. I mean, I don't want to say this since Cafe, but like, Nesk is like the father. He owns FURIA in so many of these rounds, but on Nighthaven Labs, it's not really been as easy for him. There's a small oversight in the previous round. The Warden shotgun swing close by generator door was a big problem, and Liquid fed two separate players into that same shotgun before taking him down. That lost him the numbers advantage, and with that, ultimately, the strong position in the round because he couldn't go for a plant, didn't have a crossfire, it was just Resets left alive.
Bomb located by attackers.
Liquid, they do go into defense though. The big thing is you got 3 bomb site choices. Only top floor is locked for them with that previous victory. You gotta make the right choice. You need to pick the right strategy, and you gotta do it believing in all 5 players that this is the right choice.
Defending teams have won both rounds so far in overtime. Liquid is hoping that that pattern continues. So many opportunities to close this out for Liquid, and they just have not been able to stick that landing. Will the focal point of this round be that very pivotal IT breach that so many attackers need to open up? The walls leading in to Catwalk, into Garage. They're just now booing the FURIA players, that's it.
Big haters.
I love your level of hate, I will say that.
The multiple avenues here for Liquid though. Early round, it's Resets and Maya on the wall deny duty. That's going to be the big focal point for them. Later on, Paolo on the Solace, the C-Force in action. To deny a plant attempt or find some kills on the side of FURIA. But they're making really good pace right now upstairs. Only 60 seconds.
Yeah, FURIA are fearless at the moment. Very quickly assembling map control. Foregoing that breach for the time being. Instead, opting to take care of the other portion upstairs. Liquid have not fallen off though, and there go the Zoto canisters and the shock wires onto the wall. Herds gets the first pick onto Maya, or at least the down. Maya did not know how close FURIA was, and there come the impacts to do some damage to the IQ. Maya trailing away, but Lagonis is tied. Liquid technically trail by 1. Maya could be retrieved, but Philippox does not allow that to happen. Palu now to assume the position. While Nesk watches the window from above, does FURIA go for too linear a take, or do they solve the problem upstairs? There goes Nesk. With it, the round might have gone as well. It's a brief explosion as FURIA wins the final round, scaling Liquid's map and setting us up for a fateful 3rd map. A best of 1. The better team on Chalet moves on to the semis.
What a comeback that was, and that final round, it ends out of nowhere. FURIA that show no fear when it matters the most, and again, they thrive so much when the pressure is at its highest. But as you said, now it's a best of 1 on Chalet. Complete reset time here for these 2 teams, and we need to see Liquid give it everything they have on Chalet to have a chance to win.
Oh, absolutely. An absolutely astonishing 15 rounds. Let's break it down on the desk.
How is it Friday? That felt like Championship Sunday. I'm losing my voice. It's Ian with Alfama and Fresh on the desk. This is back and forth stuff. Liquid's pick looked like they might have had the world champion several times. Looked like they might have been sending them on the next flight home to Brazil, but never count out One of the greatest teams of all time, Fresh in FURIA.
Yeah, I feel like I'm about to become public enemy #1, but what a comeback from FURIA. Once again, I don't think they maybe strategically won. I think they got a lot of things wrong, but they managed to just find the rounds, and it comes down to one round in overtime. Just one round, and they kept it simple. They found the kills, particularly, you know, out on inside of Electric, finding that kill, finding that opening, and then just trading out from there. They made it look really simple after making it look very, very complicated.
Yeah, and I'm scared.
Yeah.
You know why I'm scared?
Tell me.
Because it's been a consistent pattern that Liquid gets so close to winning
Don't
every
jinx
time.
this, man. Come on.
And every time it slips away. I'm scared it's not finished yet. There is a third map, but they had this in the pocket so many times. They could have closed it so many times.
And look at KZ as well, 19. When you need the players that matter, and this is kind of the beauty about FURIA, and I was going to say in map 1, if they'd have won Cafe, was Philippox can step up when the others aren't. KZ's done the same inside of that map. He's just stepped up 19 kills, being the guy. Because when you, being strategically beat, when you just sat there and you know the crowd's against you, you know Liquid is on their map pick, you just need somebody to find a way to win that.
And that's got to be so irritating for anyone that plays against FURIA. Whatever you do, even if you play the better way, even if you do the more strategic way, whatever happens, strategically, it's not a problem because they have the best players in the world. They can always bring it back. You can have KZ dropping 20 kills and he will bring back the map and win 8-7.
Listen, we learned, you know, very quickly in the 5th and final map of the SI Grand Final, you can never count this roster out when it comes to victory, and you can't count out this crowd either. Electric atmosphere here in Manchester. We'll be back with map 3 after the break.
know you better than you know yourself. You want Fnatic in S because you love playing Buck.
S tier, I think it is.
Oh, nice! A tier list. I will have swap PSG, Talon, and SSG thought.
Yeah, I can live with that one. Okay, I'll do.
Go ahead.
Okay. BDS. For me, it's got to be a B.
Hi, Ace. I've been looking for you. Message from the boss, don't put BDS below A.
Well, what the boss wants, the boss gets.
Guess that's the way it has to be sometimes. Anyway, please, let's stop underrating G2. And I'm happy to talk about the captain FURIA, but can we settle on BDS first?
Sounds like we don't have a choice.
I'll give over, Tim.
Team skins are nice, but this blast weapon skin, wow. Want some? Anyone?
Oh,
It's an S, by the way.
No, popcorn is not an S, but this blast weapon skin is. Now, what we'd like to do is finish this tier list. Weren't there only 2 of you a minute ago?
Right. We need to have a think about FaZe Des. We've almost forgotten them.
Well, we were going to come on to it until we were so rudely interrupted. It's a C. Great design, but it's still a C. No boo-boo-boo about it. And you in the back there, you don't even work here. Haven't you got pizzas to deliver? Jesus.
This is not a fire alarm. This is a message to remind you of the beauty of the FURIA skin.
She's right. I mean, definitely, yeah.
FaZe up there?
Yeah, of course. Team A.
why C? Why do you say C?
You're a liar.
Stop saying C. Stop
FaZe off.
Team A.
Stop saying C. Not Team A. Just sit.
It's A.
Right. Is everybody happy now?
Oh, cool. A tier list. You're too hard on the BDS skin. It clearly deserves to be higher.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No BS, of course.
Looks like we're going to overtime, Des.
All right, this crowd is that crazy that I had to get in and amongst it. Manchester, we good? Yeah! Of course we're good. We got a quarter-final that feels like a championship final here in the Manchester Major. It is electric here. FURIA coming back, bringing Liquid to a third and final map. Who have we got here that thinks FURIA are going to the semi-finals?
Come on!
All right, why is that? Why do you think? Why are you so confident?
Sorry, I've lost my voice a bit. Well, I saw FURIA in the double Sangdan, you know, the same roster really. Whoa, 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 whoa! Calm down. I see that I'm getting a lot of hate here.
Who's ready for a 4th win in a row?
Okay. All right. Let me just test the temperature one more time. I told you it's wild here in Manchester. One more time. Liquid. FURIA. Liquid. FURIA. All right. Let's get back into the analysis on the desk. Take a look at our third and final map.
All right, so the decider is Chalet, right? And we were thinking, we heard Terror and Pengu say, yeah, it's a great map for FURIA, and we don't really want to, end up here. And I don't think it was the point. I think Liquid actually were, really close to beating them on Night Heaven, and they weren't really happy with going to the decider all the way. But at the same time, I've got to say, Jack, it's not a bad map for Liquid. They're actually on a 6-win streak.
Really?
Yeah.
6-win streak?
They have not lost it since SI 2024 against Split.
So what we're saying, I believe this is what we're saying, is this map is nice and evenly poised for a best of 1 to hit the semi-final. For me, however, it's much more about mentality now. Because we compare and contrast the two teams. Liquid have basically just fluffed it, just completely fluffed their chance into the semi-final in their minds, because they should have got over the line on that hit, and they should have got over the line on their mats. Now, if there's one thing that I am questioning with this Liquid, it's not ever their talent. It's not ever their roster. It's about their mentality and their resilience and their fortitude. So how are they going to come back from this is my big question. As it kind of sits right now, I'm thinking Liquid maybe needed to have got it done in 2. And I know that's not going to be a popular opinion, but I do wonder if they can come back from the kind of heartbreak that will have been Nighthaven, because it was so close, it was so in their hands.
On the flip side, though, I mean, the key word here for me is resiliency. And we know that both of these teams have that in them, like in abundance, especially right now when it comes to Team Liquid. You know, they had a terrible stage in the Brazil League. They come through LCQ showing resiliency there, and they showed resiliency ever since they've been here in Manchester. So when the back's against the wall, seemingly right now, you can't count them out.
It is great resilience, but it is losers' resilience. I'm sorry, but it is the truth. They've been resilient because they've kept losing. No, but it's the truth. If you look at FURIA, actually, that's the resilience of a winner. Did they come back after a 6-1 all the way to be a world champion? See, the thing is, they actually came back to win. So I would say, arguably, FURIA are the one that have the best mental or the best way or the overedge here. Because they've actually won the map, they have the momentum, they came back, and they've came back all the way from a 6-1 to be a world champion. That's resilience that I call winning.
But Liquid is still here. They're still breathing. There's still blood in the veins.
There's still blood in the veins. They've got a lot of positives, but they should have got over the line. And like I said, that's the one thing for me. If they come into this game now and they're still thinking about Nighthaven, it could get away from them very, very, very quickly. What we want them to do is come into it and just focus on Chalet.
Well, we can see our series summary here. Of course, it is one apiece. It all comes down to our third and final map in Chalet. Any particular players that you want to see step up and show up in this third and final map from either side here, Leo?
I don't think it's about the players for me. It's more about Liquid generally being the better team strategically, and somehow FURIA getting away with it because they have incredible individuals. And that's the thing, or one more argument to say that Liquid maybe has a shot actually here to win and beat FURIA is first, any team that wins a side somehow has a curse. When they come back, it's always harder. So I want to trust this luck and maybe believe this is the time where they stop. And second, I just want to say Liquid strategically is the better team here. Maybe they can close it off.
Now, the pictures you're seeing on your screen right now, recent history, the Copenhagen Major, last time these two teams came head-to-head on a main stage with only one winner coming out on top. It was FURIA. Then, of course, they went by the name W7M before switching rosters, and you can see the pain, you can see the anguish in the eyes of these Liquid players, and that is not an emotion that they want to feel again here, Fresh.
No, it's an emotion that they felt at every event. Like I said, we saw it recently in Sao Paulo. We saw it back then in Copenhagen. And it's when you attach it, and I will keep saying this, when you attach, winning is a habit, but losing is also a habit. And as well as Liquid have done, and that's why I'm saying this loss might be massive into map 2, because as well as they've done, losing is a habit and an emotion that they seem to know about in these big moments, and that might be just the one that kind of has got away from them now. What I will say though, that Copenhagen Major Grand Final was a 3-0 stomp. Liquid have taken a long time from them to go away, to rework, and I do think they found a better balance in their team. I think bringing Maya in adds a lot to them, brings them a lot of confidence and a really, really exciting player. And this Liquid going a lot closer with that core shows that, right? Because Grand Final of Copenhagen, 0-3. Complete stomp. We're now in a 1-1. Arguably should have been a 2-0 to Liquid. Very, very close games, both of them.
Leo, you're a former competitor yourself. Liquid right now, of course, we just saw huddled around having a bit of a conversation here before going into this crucial third map. Number one, who's leading that conversation? And number two, what do you think they're talking about?
Leading the conversation in what, sorry?
Who do you think is the most vocal member of the team who's drumming home the importance of this?
In the game, it's like Agonis. Out of the game, it has to be Maya. I think, like you said, Jack, I think he's been an incredible pickup for them. I think he's brought a lot of energy to the team. And maybe right now, like you said, compared to Copenhagen, it's nowhere near the same thing. Actually, FURIA are the one that's scrambling to go to the third map here on 8-7. So I think Maya is the one that really needs, to keep the same energy, to keep the team afloat. He's been doing it for the last 2 maps. Can he do it on the third map? We're gonna see.
Do you think that there's any pressure on FURIA here that's, self-inflicted, the fact that they've had so much incredible success here? So there's, number one, you want to win another trophy, but number two, it's like anything in life. When you go on a bit of a streak, you want to keep the streak alive.
Yeah, of course you do. All you want to do is win as a competitor. It doesn't matter how many times you've won before. And there is still this debate. There is still this dynasty debate. And I know people don't like talking about it, whether the current FURIA, like W7M/FURIA, is better than Penta/G2, or whether they can even be called a dynasty.
Yeah.
If they go out today...
I mean, you've said it a few times.
I've said it. I actually believe it, because I think it would be much harder to do it today than when it was Penta/G2. But if they go out today, that reopens that whole conversation. And they're not just trying to win for a dynasty conversation. They want to be the dynasty. They want to be the undisputed. So there's a lot of pressure, and there was a lot of pressure on that last map.
And I've got to say one last thing on the side of Liquid. Is they've been expected to win an event for so many years. They really deserve it. I truly believe it. And I really think that this is the first step. If you knock out the world champions to get your way into the major, what better way to do it, right?
You're going into the semis full of confidence.
Exactly. You're going into the semis super happy about you because you just knocked off the team that has been consistently winning all STR events the past year. I really do believe that they have the best roster that they've had in years. And Palu said it in the interview as well. He really believed it as well. So maybe this is the right time for them. And I think, we couldn't think of a better map to actually, or a better story to see it live.
I just want to give a massive shout out to what has been a crucial part of Liquid's journey here in this best of 3 so far, which is, of course, our Manchester crowd. I think it's pretty safe to say that they're blowing away all expectations of a UK live crowd. So before I get predictions from the analysts, even though I kind of know which way this is going to go, Manchester, do we think FURIA will take this one? Do we think Liquid will take this one? I didn't really get a full gauge there. Just one more time. FURIA. Liquid. I think I've got it. So now I'm going to come to you two, and I want explanations as to why. Leo, I'm coming to you first. Who is going into the semi-finals? Remember, the crowd's listening here. Is it FURIA or Liquid?
My heart says Liquid, but my brain says FURIA.
Fresh?
My heart just says Liquid. I'm going to stay Liquid. Ian.
Me? Okay, I'm going Liquid too. Just so I don't get crowded after this. All right, let's get into the third and final map. This is pivotal. It could be history in the making. It is FURIA, Liquid, Chalet with Intero and Pengu.
Well, it all comes down to this. A single map, and a good map for both the teams, but the nod going towards FURIA, I think the desk spoke about it so perfectly. I don't know what it is with teams going against FURIA on match point on Nighthaven Labs, just not being able to seal the deal, but Liquid studying at the school of FaZe Clan as they did back in Brazil, neither of these teams being able to close out a match against FURIA. So, we go to Chalet. They polled the audience. They polled the desk. Now I'm gonna poll you. Who wins, Liquid or FURIA?
You see, I am very much like Alpha Mom. My heart says Liquid, Parker, but the main character's been FURIA for so long, and I think Liquid, they had to 2-0 it to get there.
A decent prediction. I think Liquid's gonna win. What do you think? Let's load in to Chalet, our final map between these two titans.
Of course, you will take the side of the crowd, 100%. As you will at times. You know what? I respect you for it, Parker. You are a working man. Not a betting man, but a working
Hey, that means that person dressed as him has to leave the venue. I believe.
Okay, Deimos, okay. Of course, Chalet's about hunting down those roamers, find those opening kills, but the Ops can do just that. Asami, will she survive the upper band phase? For now, Fenrir will be chosen first. Valkyrie, Asami, two very common operators here on Chalet. Valkyrie, all right, so Intel and the roam clear being focused here. Of course, with Fenrir being banned off, it means the entry is a little bit easier here on Chalet. You're not going to get nearsighted every single time you enter through a door, for example, or jumping in a window. But you still got other things to worry about, whether it's the mirror windows, the frost mats, of course, the Solis roaming around, because when Solis was left unbanned on Nighthaven Labs, both teams played an operator almost every single round, and Chalet is no different. It's all about maintaining map control for as long as possible. Solis gives you that comfortability, saying, hey, there are no drones in this area or that area. We have this portion of the map when it comes to intel. Just like on the attacking side, you should not be surprised if you see a Brava or a Twitch, sometimes both in the same round. Liquid start on the attacking side, which historically for a long time had been the favorite side.
Hey, speaking of which, you get the Team Liquid Twitch bundle.
Ooh! Yay! Yay, skins! The wall is half broken. Not fully broken, but half broken. There we go. An impact fixture.
Site setup all done. You want to talk about the numbers of Chalet, by the way?
Yeah, as I was saying, like historically for like a long time, it tended to be attacker favored because of how you can attack from outside the building on those window rappels, etc. But in recent history, shouldn't have done that. Well, it could have been match point and this happened. It wasn't. Just a 0-0. I like that they're saying, fix those servers when we're playing LAN. There are no servers, so to speak. It's locally hosted. But you know.
Don't peel back the curtain. Well, we will have a technical pause as we get everybody back in here. I do want to clarify, though.
Okay.
I don't actually care who wins.
Really?
Yes.
I think you're alone on that one. They have a favorite, Parker. You know this.
Yeah, the crowd's their own thing. What I will say about you, though, Manchester, is the amount of times that you'll start a chant and then we'll cut to an audience shot. And it looks like none of you are doing anything, but it's still so loud. And that really just goes to show the power of just a couple people. But boy, oh boy, when you all start cheering, it gets mighty loud in here. I am a little bit worried for Liquid in this match.
Yes.
You and I spoke about this in between the break. If FURIA springs out to a 3-0 or a 4-0 lead, does Liquid have the mental, you think, to be able to claw that back?
I want to say yes for the simple reason that they showed us every single round on Cafe and Night Haven Labs they were not giving up. Someone like Maya popping off, standing out of his chair, screaming. I think they actually have the mentality about it. I think Maya is a big part of it. He's a very vocal person, very emotional player as well. I do think they can keep themselves in it and play it to the very end. There is one thing for Liquid. They have lost too many times in the big stage, always falling short, but they play their hearts out every single time. The thing that I want, and I think that's what you're trying to say as well, I don't care who wins, I want it to be a good match. If FURIA or Liquid just stomp this 7-1, it's just over, it falls kind of flat. I want to see a brawl for this victory because this could potentially be the winner of the entire event. FURIA, they were expected to do it. And if Liquid can beat FURIA, one could argue they can take it all the way to the grand finals possibly.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the Brazilian teams all on the same side of the bracket.
You do.
So let's say FaZe Clan beats Beast Coast. It'll be an all-Brazil semifinal. And then you end up with a Brazilian team guaranteed in the grand finals yet again. Now, obviously, FURIA would not be a surprise based on their international results. But FaZe Clan have looked better than most of the teams here. So it's not necessarily a given that the winner of this is going to win because they're going to have to go up against either FaZe Clan or Beast Coast. And Beast Coast have been getting better the more that they've played in this tournament. Yes, they are still, as a team, relatively inexperienced.
Very.
But the players themselves are not necessarily inexperienced.
You got some players in there. All right. That's creative. Oh, but yeah, on Beast Coast, you got
guts full of bullets.
Guts full of bullets.
I'm not a biologist, but I don't think that's how bodies work.
It's not how they should work, at least. It shouldn't look. If your insides look like that, seek a doctor. You know, that can't be right.
It would appear from Hugzord was talking to one of the admins earlier. Now it's Paulu whose head is turned in that direction. It would appear that whatever technical issues we are suffering through are afflicting Paulu more than everybody else.
See smiles from Nisk. Now, when this kind of thing happens to the teams, you can sit there and go, oh, you know, tech issue this, tech issue that, it's so frustrating. Oh, you sit there, not have fun with it, but like stay in a positive mind state so that when the match starts, you're not going to start off being annoyed. The mental here is everything, and it starts right here. Just keep it a positive attitude about the circumstance.
Do you think they play solitaire?
Do PCs have that these days? I don't know.
I actually have no idea what's on these PCs.
Exactly.
You should. You used to play.
Okay.
I've never played.
What would we do? I don't think we did it. Oh, rock, paper, scissors. That works. Is that the crowd? Who's he playing with? Is he winning? Looks like he won.
They gotta win something.
I mean, this is Furia we're talking about. They win everything.
No, I mean here. Like right now.
I mean, it's smart to only do one game, win it, now you're undefeated. Never play again. You remain undefeated. That's what I would do.
Rock, paper, scissors champions. I am very excited for the matchups that follow this. Spent a lot of time, obviously, talking about these two teams as this is the match that we're casting, but FaZe Clan Beast Coast, M80DZ. These will be very exciting and very unpredictable matchups.
I would have to agree with that, and
what was that?
It was the little click of the tongue.
Sounds like a squirrel.
Like, is that what a squirrel sounds like? I don't
have squirrels in Denver?
I mean, it's hard to catch them. I've tried.
You've tried to catch a squirrel?
Haven't we all?
All right, let's move on. I don't think I have.
He's so cute, I want to touch him. You know, I just want to squeeze him. But like gently.
Hands up means the lobby is ready.
All right. So the reason why we tend to say that FURIA is so favored here on Chalet is that they revolutionized how Tier 1 level teams approach this map strategically. Once upon a time, when this map first got reworked, you would reinforce most of the side walls and just play behind them, and once they got opened up, you're just kind of weakened. But FURIA, back then W7M, they changed that around. They started playing this meta and creating it, frankly, on Chalet, where you open up a lot of long lines of sight. We saw that previously before the rehost, where you might think, reinforce all of Library off, right? They got out reach. No, you open up Library, and you play from far away with Soon Scope, with deployables, etc. It changed the entire game of how Chalet is played. It's now about denying the attackers in, whereas before they changed this, it was about trying to keep them out for as long as possible.
The devs renovated Chalet many years ago to get it to the point that it's at now, adding an extra couple rooms, expanding the footprint of the map, and as you just saw, FURIA was doing some renovations of their own upstairs in Library. A World of Hurt comes on the side of Liquid, Ying, Blitz, Capital.
Oh yeah, so they're gonna probably start trying to clear that default corner Library. They might go for a side execute here. The hatch into the bottom side of Bar is reinforced, so there's a possibility for a rush here. In the fireplace window, Ness follows, they're gonna rush the side in the first round.
And finding doorways along the way, but it's Lagonis off to the races. Maya first to die. A trade back towards back Bar. Lagonis sees that he might have the site in control. Both teams trading blows back and forth. Somebody from FURIA's outside, but they've managed to stop Liquid in their tracks. It's KZ with the final 2 kills. And it's FURIA taking round 1.
I think there might have been one small oversight there from Liquid. It was Ness with Diffuser who was entering from fireplace window with the Blitz. And sure, Ness got into the middle of the bomb side inside of Bar, but that's not a stable plant position. You could have put that Diffuser on the player outside the game's window, and you can easily get into a safe position on the side once that chaos has kind of, is ended. So I think that maybe the wrong guy there carrying the Diffuser, trying to get it down. But either way, I like the idea of rushing here in the first round, trying to set the pace and control things, but it wasn't the most cleanly executed rush attempt here. And KC hitting a nasty shot outside of fireplace double door. I mean, what are you going to do about that? He gets 3 kills in that round.
I mean, it really is a brazen attempt.
Yeah.
You don't just start off a map by rushing in. If you know the defenders have the upper hand, which statistically they do on this map, and FURIA is the more comfortable of the two teams, you need to use all of your arsenal in order to try and defeat your opponent, or at least keep it as close as possible until you swap sides, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's no hiding strats here, that's for sure.
No, not one bit. And because of how many times these two teams have played each other, they know each other.
Yeah, a lot of this about, you know, major events and especially in quarters, semis, and finals. It's the prep you do for the individual matches because you're going to expect probably these 3 maps, whether you're Furia or Liquid, because you've done your homework. And as soon as you go there, you need to have studied your opponent with counter strats or new things you can do you haven't shown before, all these small alterations. So Liquid likely saw that bar gaming setup before when they studied them and said, you know what, this looks rushable with a blitz on a fireplace lobby window and just jump on in. It almost was successful. And now Furia, even though they won the round, they have to respect the possibility of a future rush here in Chalet and not get too far away from the bomb site itself so that they can help each other if that rush comes to get pushed up at some point.
Well, things a little bit more standard for Liquid at this point in the previous round. They had all but made it into the bomb site. More standard take. One thing that you will see an awful lot of on this map, ACOGs.
Oh yeah.
ACOGs and MP5s, whether it be Wamai, whether it be Malusi, you might even see the 2 GIGN brothers.
Rook and Duck.
Not actually brothers, by the way, but just always kind of linked together. I mean, they might be brothers. I don't know anything about the lore of this game, so possibly. One of the beauties of the DMR is not just that they hit like a truck, they tear through the Kiba barriers that are thrown out by Azami. If you are relatively new to Rainbow Six or you just returned, you might be surprised to know that you can shoot through the Kiba barriers. Nesk dies to KZ, but he's immediately traded off by Maya, and Maya will burn an E1D as he takes control of Solarium. Castle barricades thwarting his advance, but a network of openings, and Maya's just on something else right now. Nesk the only one to die. Nesk having one of his worst performances at this event in the previous round. Now it's all up to Nade and JV92. Liquid sweeping through the top floor, but you have to translate that down to Kitchen, where the bomb site lies.
Nesk might not be the best performer, but it enables us to see here in my and that specific scenario. He just JV now in the 1v4. So Nesk, while he dies, his teammates get something from that death.
It's not like anybody's ever clutched a 1vx with a DMR at TCSG before, right?
Never.
And Jero will play later on today. Resets the final kill, a perfect read over towards Piano. All of that action happening on the top floor. Bomb site be damned. Liquid equalizing, and honestly, if you look at the numbers, if Liquid can escape this first half with anything more than 2 rounds, I would argue they're in great shape for the second half.
I don't disagree, but I think Liquid gotta aim higher. Aim for a 3-3 half. Just go even. And I think we spoke about earlier what happens if Liquid they fall behind. It just looks like Maya has brought this different vibe to the team that, hey boys, we still got it, we're still doing things, and Maya is seeking out so many plays, and that's the big thing. Nesk, he has had a long career of individual performances, heroics, clutches, etc. Phenomenal player. But his current time in Liquid is not about him getting all the kills unless he absolutely has to. It's about him enabling other players. By him going in the primary entry, he might die pretty quickly, but then there's someone behind him to follow up. That was Maya last round. So Nesk dies, Maya gets 3 kills. That's a worthy trade, but someone has to be crazy enough to say, you know what, I'm just gonna send myself in. He's that kind of guy.
That's a word that we really haven't used that much today, trade.
Yeah.
Because these teams have been obviously exploding in terms of kills, and there's lots of action where multiple people will die, but you don't see a lot of isolated incidences where there is an opportunity to immediately refrag one of your opponents. So the fact that Liquid had that going in the previous round is a good sign. You need a lot of good signs from Liquid, because again, they will be swimming upstream for this first half. Another shield will be brought this round. Lagonis on the Monty, and he's just gonna walk into the site by the way. And Nesk on the follow-up, slaughtering them all. Down goes Felipox. Nesk looking for one more. KZ still there. Nesk's sword still wet with the blood of the dead. And there's the final kill to come in from Palu. Crowd likes that one. Liquid takes the lead.
I have played against Nesk myself as a player many times. Once back in Pentaslash G2, we boot camped in Brazil for an upcoming tournament, and we scrimmed Liquid about 3 to 4 times a week at that point. And the first time we scrimmed, I go, wow, these guys are really good. By the end of that boot camp, we would ask Shaz, our coach, who are we scrimming today? And he goes, Liquid. You hear the biggest sigh. Oh. Because back in Nesk's prime, there was a drone between his legs, him on the entry. In that round, it was Lagonis on the Monty, yellow pinging positions, and Nessus getting kill after kill after kill. And this right here, this is the individual prep that you do for your opponent. You don't have that strat on paper going, let's do the Monty rush for Trench Door. Because it requires specific things to be happening from your opponent to enable that gap. You need to know they're not playing car garage, they're not playing West Main Staircase, they don't have the hatch and kitchen open up. And the big thing that I think really enabled that, Liquid knew Asami was open, and they're gonna be that keeper barrier that denies the pillar position, that allows the ghost to walk in only looking towards the blue door, because the keeper barrier protects the Monty. So it's a very specific strat that was tailored for that execute.
Nesca, the second worst rating. Previous matchup, and oh my! 5 kills through 3.5 rounds. Not even half the round. 30 seconds in. If Nesk can match Herds 1-for-1, if Nesk can match up to KZ 1-for-1, while still having Palu and Maya right behind him, and even Resets, who's had a great day, frankly, this Liquid team is going to be, well, a force to be reckoned with, and FURIA will be on the wrong side of their fury.
That's the opening kill. Now they can slow things down, and you know, they're expecting FURIA to lash out. So that's why you see Nesk holding the window, because often on Chalet, you have to react when things that don't really go your way on defense. Strategically, you need to have your man count, your numbers advantage, because you can trade again the bodies throughout the map. When you lose that first gunfight, if you now lose JV as well, you lose the advantage for sure. It's close, it's Philippox running to the rescue of JV, who's very deep inside of office.
But Nesk is just finding all these opportunities himself, Nick. Philippox was being hunted down earlier, he's gone. And Nesk can just sit pretty on this library window. Tearing through KZ, Palu credited with the kill, but Nesk gets the job done. To start things off, the last 2 members of FURIA will coalesce around this position. Liquid reducing FURIA to just nade. Watching on library stairs, the vault in, and Liquid has to compete for that kill. 3 of the Horsemen hungry for the frag, and Liquid already up 3-1.
And this is why Chalet might be defender favorite slightly here statistically, but also why it historically has been attacker side. If you can attack, you can create those openings, you can win rounds. Looks like as well the player comes at Maya, does a lot of talking for his team, and you know, it's usually been Lagonis. He calls the strats, Lagonis does this and that. One difficult thing about having a primary leader for your team with strategy is that Lagonis often finds himself in the back line of the map, unless he's playing the Monty in the front, of course. That's the exception. But having another vocal player like Maya, who's very often on entry or second entry, so in the front lines of the battlefield, really helps shape up Liquid from front to back, because now they can cover everything. If Lagonis is outside the building trying to figure out what the next step is going to be, but he can't even see what the next step possibly is, well, now Maya is there to take over. So really proud and happy for Maya here, because he had a tough start in Liquid, didn't find his role in the beginning, and people go, Maya was a great player, now he's coming to Liquid to have a bad career in the future. No. They just had a rough start, but they settled into it, and Maya's here to improve Liquid, both as an individual and with his team performance as well, what he does for the roster. We see him right now, speaking a lot. Liquid looking for another way in, this time maybe from the downstairs, so they're changing things up every single round.
Keep FURIA on their toes. Like I said, you have to use every bit of that arsenal that you have, and both of these teams have quite the stockpile. Might be one of our most competitive matches that we see today. It's certainly one of the most competitive matches that we've seen at this entire event. And kind of in contrast to some of the other best of threes. Not to throw shade on other teams, but sometimes you end up in a best of 3 not because of excellent play, but because of sloppy play. That results in neither team doing particularly well on maps 1 and 2. Sure. Really not the case in this matchup so far. FURIA have had some serious stumbles, then Liquid had some stumbles at the end of Nighthaven Labs. But safe to say that both of these teams have showed up in big moments. And it's been a hell of a 2-map series, and we've been treated to a good 3rd map so far.
Slowest round at the minute. Maya sneak up the blue staircase. Can he find another opening though? Flashbang goes out. He's gonna push up the staircase. That's one, but it's a trick from Felipox. Stacked to 4v4.
And there's Lagonis getting in on it as well. Another! Clearing out that main floor. Nate and JV92 against the world yet again. JV92 held off the score sheet so far through 5 rounds, but in a powerful position, one could even say. It's all up to him as Nate drops. Lagonis, a double and now a window swing, but JV's position over by Piano is known. Palu gets it. The look on the face of Maya. Furia's hopes and dreams fading in front of the crowd's eyes. Liquid on the statistical worst side of this map, and yet they have now won it. Furia could manage to win this final round, but a 4-2 half favoring Liquid is the best that Furia is gonna get.
The biggest thing though, Liquid, they have to keep applying that pressure. No, oh, we're now 4-1, let's stop playing passive down. Stop. No, you have to keep going until this is game over. Maya has to continue to be on the entry and the attacking side, has to be roaming on defense, because once you give Furia space, we saw what happened on Nighthaven Labs. That's when the comeback starts to build for them. And when Maya is playing like this, just pushing to the building like that is absolutely absurd. Keep that up. Liquid might just find themselves a date tomorrow in the semifinals. Sometimes it just is that simple.
10 seconds left.
6th and final round in the first half. Of course, Liquid, we're gonna have to choose here what operators to bring. Get that ranged heart destruction off the Hibana. That's Maya though, so this leads me to believe that this will be a more regular round of Siege, so to speak. Like more slow down, drone the roam clear, try and get 5 attackers to that base and bomb site. You have double hop breach and thermite in Hibana. You have at your IQ to figure out how to get through those walls. But since Maya's in Hibana, this is probably gonna be okay, it's not so much about the entry now, it's about a good old 1-2-3 step Rainbow Six Siege. But what this means for Liquid, they're changing the pace, where it's been going so fast before, and this could be an issue for Furia to adapt to.
And the funny thing is, Liquid's 4 rounds they just won in a row all came on completely different bomb sites, a full map rotation. Really impressive stuff.
I need to reload.
A bit of calm now for the final round of the first half. Furia spread out. Liquid's advance will come from over towards Solarium, trophy side of the map. They have to clear out that top floor, though. That'll be the main focus. Lagonis holds on the diffuser, still far outside the building. Nesk now repositioning over towards Trench as the main floor looks clear for Liquid.
The pace has been good so far. 135. The big question is, can Furia disrupt Liquid before they get to the bomb site? Because again, if attackers' plan is to get that 5v5 bomb site execute, well, that should favor them because that is their plan. What Liquid did so well before is stopping that plan from happening. This EMP, the second EMP, that's gonna be those walls being opened up. Boiler first, long wall right after, but the tuber out's gonna stall things up. Maybe Furia have done it. They've denied both walls, mostly.
Huge value, and Nesk just missing out on what could have been an opening pick for his team. Now hugging the wall, one side of it is still able to be opened up. No bandit batteries to deal with here. Will a Zoto canister freeze it? Yes, it will. And now Nesk is desperate, and he sees the bandit, but a little bit too late. Herd starts off the round well, escapes and scampers over towards blue. A swing by Felipox. It works. Liquid, their best attempts being thwarted at the moment. Another for Herds, but Lagonis will walk in, take no prisoners. Palu is there for the follow-up. He's got 3 targets to find, giving up the ghost. Now walking over towards blue. Nate is the angle red. Palu thinks he's closer than he is. Furia does salvage that final round, but what an opening for Liquid through those first 6.
Yeah, and again, it comes down to the same thing as Nightmare Lab. Furia, they're gonna start playing it slower. But Parker, I know who you think is gonna win. I've said my piece.
I didn't actually mean that. I don't care who wins.
Let's ask one of our fellow casters. Ace, what do you think is gonna take it? Is it gonna be Liquid? Liquid, maybe? Yeah! Thank you, Ace. Thank you, good sir. The thing is, Fury can't slow things down anymore, right? They tried the two-brow, they tried the Kaid, they got that final round victory, but now they go into the attack inside. They can control the pace of the attack. You know, if they go fast, they could have to match, or they just rush the bomb side. If they want to go slow again, they're going to have to respect it, but they have to do it by taking map control now, not by setting up a difficult problem for Liquid to solve. So FURIA, they have to prove to us now that they are indeed the innovators of this map. They know how to break it apart every single time. Liquid are expecting a Monty here most likely. They're hiding the Oryx downstairs. Often you see pro teams do this, it's because that it's one of their big secrets in this round. If that operator doesn't get droned out, they might go into the Monty. They have Oryx, big surprise. Now Monty's not that great. Often this happens when you play the Clash, for example, the Kaid, those small operators that can really change the outcome of a single round if they can be kept a surprise factor later on. We know, of course, as the spectators, there is no Monty in play this round. There's no shield even. It's going to be a more drone-oriented one for FURIA. The floors, the Twitch, and again, a more stable round, 1-2-3 step from your own clear side.
The one thing that's often forgotten about the Oryx is the ability for him to vault up through hatches and go for late flanks. This is something that's seen most often on Bank out of all of the maps, but it's something that now and then you'll see on Console, you'll see it on Clubhouse, and Chalet is a map with plenty of hatches on both the top floor and that middle floor. So Palu can very easily navigate through this map. Of course, if he doesn't get pinched and read into.
Yeah.
A lot of it also will come down to flank drones and positioning from the players on FURIA who are not part of the actual execute. If you can keep one player dedicated to flank watch, and an Oryx decides to flank, you can easily surprise him and neutralize Palu.
It's true, it could happen.
There's a hard wall there, you can't shoot.
But it looks scary for a second, right? It's like, he's gonna get a free kill. I like this from Liquid, though. They're just setting up. They care about top blue staircase, mezzanine, get the deployable shields, and like you point out very well, Parker, a late round flank for Oryx from a different avenue than usually. They're watching West Main staircase. They're not watching that trophy hatch.
No, not at all. This could be FURIA's undoing. Liquid have been in their heads through much of the series. Ooh. First duel now is Herds. Spots one over towards Library Stairs, and there's Palu on the flank. JV92 damaged, and now the Oryx will continue upwards. KZ dies as well. Liquid has thrown a spanner in the works. FURIA's attention is all elsewhere. Hell breaks loose, and it's all up to Felipox. To win a 1v3, he surrenders the diffuser upstairs. It will be on kills or not at all. Lagoutness gives the first defending round for Liquid a big dub.
And you can tell how they planned that from the get-go, because the moment Paolo got the kill into JV, other members of Liquid on Library portion, they swung into the attacking lineup of FURIA, because they're expecting the people inside of office, inside of piano, to turn around. Oh, we're getting flanked, and it worked. They got 2 kills at the cost of 1, and the chaos in the server, of course, favoring defense, who has those strong predefined positions. FURIA, they call that tactical timeout. They are down 2-4 in round count. That is their only parachute in this remainder of the last map.
KZ, the only player on the team right now with good numbers. If you look at the EPS, the rankings, the rating system that we use, everybody on Liquid's doing pretty well. I mean, resets maybe not, but you haven't really needed much for resets.
Not yet, no.
3 deaths through 7 rounds. Quite an impressive score. That means he's only died once in a round that was won by Team Liquid. And there's the flank from Palu. And you can really tell, Palu's flank completely destroyed FURIA's focus. Yeah. FURIA had players lined up all around Library, upstairs. Palu gets the kill, and what happens? Immediately FURIA panics. They swing around to try to deal with a potential flank, and Liquid snaps their fingers, and half of FURIA dies in the blink of an eye.
Yep.
And that's what a good flank can do. Not only do you have to worry unconsciously about what can happen, people who play ranked know that just the very existence of a cav can completely change the way that you play your ranked games.
Yeah.
Now imagine if you're a professional and an Oryx, not just an Oryx, but Palu, one of the best mechanical aimers in the world, has now managed to sneak up behind you. It's going to throw you into a tailspin. FURIA could not recover.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you can make a play like that from Liquid's side, you're like playing on the mental of FURIA. Like, oh, we thought we had it all under control. It was a solid bound for us, but we just missed this one tiny detail. Just like when you rush in the attack, you're now playing with the mentality of your opponent. Now that we're worried about the flank always. Every single round here on forward, someone's got to ask from FURIA, hey, is the flank covered? What if they have the Oryx? Do we have Claymores in the hats, for example? It's those small things that can help you lose track, essentially, of all the things in a round to keep track of, because there are so many in the current meta of the game. The slow start for FURIA, the first minute spent outside the building on rappels. Beast goes out. Couldn't wrap one in, maybe, but those, oh, they're in, yeah.
4 of those B canisters done, and Hurd sees the head briefly. Cannot follow up. Now inside a jacuzzi with a deployable shield. Herds will have to challenge this dead on. But JV92 takes a lot of damage. KZ dies, resets traded off as well. Liquid winning every single fight. It's all up to Herds and Nade under normal circumstances. Great players to have. Herds warming up though, looking to go even. Keep that up for 90 more seconds. They don't need to! Palu with the final kill in the round. So much for our predictions. Liquid, series point.
Not just series point, but FURIA look desperate.
I feel like you could do better than that.
Better how?
I feel, no. I'm not saying you're bad.
But?
I'm saying you can do that, but louder.
Oh.
There we go.
It's building.
Keep going. Keep going.
It's okay. And it might just happen.
You take that crowd energy, you inject that straight into my veins. It'll power me for the rest of the day.
And more. I mean, FURIA might be playing their final 3 minutes here at the major. And an incredible upset it would be for Liquid to take them out in the quarterfinals, no less. No one in their right mind would have realistically predicted this, given how hard it was to get here. They played 14 separate games. They played 8 different maps out of the 9 map pool. So you think FURIA, they have so much information on Liquid, but the thing is, they keep changing up how they're playing. They bring these one-off strats, they bring the counters. Their prep work and the coaches have been excellent so far, but you cannot stop Herds on this entry.
KZ and Televox, oh my! They took a lot of damage, but FURIA playing like a team possessed. Diffuser going down. There goes Televox, there goes Herds. Does KZ pull this one off? Can Ness be the savior on the window? No, Palu in a 1v3 moved out of his position. And boy, oh boy, there's nothing like a team as pissed off as FURIA is.
And this is why Liquid, they have to maintain that pressure. If you give too much space to FURIA, you saw it right there, they will take it. Snap at the finger, 3 kills for FURIA. They're in the bomb site, Fuser's going down, and no one can stop them. So Liquid, again, do not be afraid to lose. Just play to win, all you need is 1 more round. You can take a risk, you can afford to lose a few more. It still works until overtime, but of course try and win in regulation.
If Liquid prevails here, the job doesn't get any easier, because you either face another major champion in FaZe Clan or a team that is just destroying expectations, the best team in North America in Beast Coast. It will be a long road for Liquid if they win. You think maybe they get the biggest hurdle out of the way, and I think you could make a pretty credible argument that FURIA is the big bad for Liquid.
Yeah. I mean, they even had some banter, some trash talk last night on social media where things between Hurts and Nest is, you know, in Portuguese, just giving their smack talk, being like, you know, you don't deserve this, you don't deserve that, we're gonna beat you some more, like, give it to cry kind of thing.
Liquid's doing their talking right now in the server. Doesn't matter who they face up against. Liquid's biggest nemesis is always in their head and in their hearts. Sometimes the match is won before you even play a single round.
Can happen, yeah.
And a team like Liquid is very susceptible to falling off. Some would say choking. I wouldn't use that word, but some would. Liquid have a lot of rounds to ensure they put this one away. A very big cushion, and they'll start! The crowd will roar! JV92 alone kill. Numbers, though, very quickly equalizing. The last Adrenal Surge will ring out. Liquid looking for just 2 more kills. Just 2 more. That's it for Liquid. FURIA earned the title of World Champions. Everything they've worked for over the last year, you cannot take away from them. But as it was said on stage by Fellapox, winning is addicting.
Yeah.
You never want to lose. And as a team, FURIA doesn't really know what the sting of defeat feels like.
It's been far too long for them. Liquid the discipline, play close together. You have the 3 versus 2. If one player falls, have someone in the middle that can trade either direction, because FURIA, we see right here for Hurts, he's looking for a gap. Liquid have no idea where they are on the map. With the right timing, they could easily get the opening kill, and even that man count to a 2v2.
And if JV vaults in here, it's an easy pick for Lagonis holding this angle. That will effectively be the round, and with it, the match. Hurts trying to be as patient as possible, but you're gonna run out of that very quickly as the timer continues to work against you. You know that one of these players from Liquid, inside a site doing some renovations. Hurts now for slaughtered. One single player to be found. Engaging now on the stairs, JV92 as all 3 kills will need to fight 2 more. The crowd will roar. Manchester will deafen, but hear the sound of Liquid as their gallop meets the earth. Onward to the semis. The world champions defeated.
Over a full year of complete dominance of Rainbow Six Siege at the highest level of play, WZM, now known as FURIA, finally get taken down, and it's by Team Liquid, the biggest surprise of a very long time, and it was such a shame that this happened in the quarterfinals, because this could have been finals worthy.
This could have been a grand final matchup yet again, just as it was in Copenhagen a year ago.
Yeah.
Team Liquid, they fought and scraped their way through the LCQs. They were written off by most of the world after a dreadful start to stage 1, but they have stunned us by defeating and toppling the world champions. The desk will surely have something to say about this as we bask in the glow of a huge Team Liquid victory.
For such a long time, and they send the world champions, FURIA, crashing out of the Blast R6 Manchester Major. We are joined on the desk right now by Liquid royalty. We've got Nesk and, of course, Lagonis join us live. Nesk, I'll come to you first. A tremendous victory, a huge obstacle to overcome in FURIA. Did you know deep down that you could beat them?
Yeah, we know. We are better.
Lagonis, I see you soaking up this crowd, loving every moment. Did you expect to have this level of support here in Manchester?
No, I don't expect like this much, but I'm so happy. Like, guys, you help a lot, and tomorrow we have more. I need you guys. Come cheer for us. It's very important. So I'm so happy.
You guys, you're the only one that made it all the way through phase 1, into phase 2, into all the way here, kicking the world champions. This is crazy. How much Maya has helped now that he's in the team?
Yeah, Maya helped a lot because he helps us on signage of the team. You know, day by day. Like, he's a good person and he fits very well on the team. So he brings a lot of energy, and that's the most important thing. And he's amazing entry fragger too. So yeah, we are very happy, and he's helping a lot.
I've got a quick question about tomorrow. Do you want FaZe?
Yeah, we need a FaZe. We need a FaZe, yeah. We lost against them on the Brazilian League, so now we need our revenge. And in this tournament. Yeah, so yeah, FaZe Clan.
Ness, I just want you to take a look over your shoulder here. The trophy is right there. What would it mean to you this year here in Manchester to raise it in the air?
We mean everything for me. We have this team, this amazing team, so for me, I'm coming for this.
Emotionally, like, talk me through what is running through you right now.
It's so, like, as you guys said, like, it's a long run. We came from, like, it started 0-4 in our league, and then LCQ, so it means everything, nothing hurts us anymore. I think that's the word, nothing hurts us anymore. So we are here, and we are working a lot to lift the trophy. So yeah, nothing hurts more. That's it.
I've just got to double check right now here with this Manchester crowd. Have you adopted Team Liquid to the UK? Manchester, one more time until you see them again. Make some noise for Nesk and Lagonis. Thank you, guys. You go in and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much, Ness. Wow. Crazy times. And I just want to give a shout out. Of course, the UK, what we like to do is we pick a team and then we get right behind them. And I know that you'll all join me in this. FURIA, one of the greatest teams to ever play this game, drop out of the tournament here. But we've got a lot of love and respect for everything they've achieved so far. Am I right? Fresh. That FURIA story takes a bit of a turn, but now they're looking for the comeback redemption story later down the line.
Yeah, they've got something to fight for in the future majors, but to be honest, Ian, this game is all about Liquid. We've seen them time and time again after these events, just heads in hands, and like Laguna said, they've had all of the pain, nothing can hurt them now, and they just feel like they're on a rampage. We might have called it losers resilience, but it is resilience all the same. And they just found a way to win. I think inside of Chalet, if we bring it a bit more back to the siege side of things, they were creative. They were causing FURIA problems. They were being a little bit unpredictable, and FURIA just had no idea what to do with them.
And let's be real, I called it losers resilience because I was missing that win. When you start winning, it's a completely different story. And the way they were doing it as well. I think in previous events, they were strategically the better team. They were lacking that fire, that spice, that aggressiveness that was maybe part of the meta. I think since Maya has arrived, he's completely changed that. He's an amazing entry, but also you see it out of the game. How many times did Maya get a double kill and stood up and just started screaming and getting energy out of everyone, matching the energy of Nesk, matching the energy of Lagonis. This team is looking great, just with one single roster change. And I think I really want to see them play against FaZe in semifinals, because what I was seeing them doing basically is beat all the Brazilian teams all the way to the grand finals and then take the major.
Well, Fresh, we talked about BDS being one of the key favourites here in Manchester for obvious reasons. And now, what can make you more of a favourite in a tournament than knocking out a team such as FURIA, with their history, with their lineage, with their silverware? Are Liquid now, in your mind, solidified as a front runner, or do you still have some question marks over them?
I think so. I think they've got over that mental hurdle. That's what it always felt like it was with Team Liquid, was a mental hurdle that they needed to get over, because we knew they had the skill, we knew they had the strategy, we knew they had the top players. It was just about their mentality. It was, I'll be honest, it was a concern going into that Chalet. I didn't know if they'd be able to bounce back the way they did. They did, and now I think they can really kick on. Sure, it might well be a formidable opponent tomorrow in FaZe, but like Leo said, if they go and then they beat FaZe, like, they will have absolutely earned it.
All right.
Adding on to that, I would just say they had one of the longest seasons you could possibly have. And I think that's helped them a lot. I think they needed time together. They've warmed up all the way through the tournament, and they're probably at the best momentum we've seen them in years.
Let's take a look at the bracket before we start to wrap things up here for this half of the quarterfinals. Of course, BDS and Team Liquid in 2 individual semi-finals that will be played out tomorrow. Team BDS will take on the winner of Dark Zero versus M80, which is our last best of 3 here. And Team Liquid will take on either FaZe Clan or Beast Coast. That is coming up next. I think it's pretty safe to say that we, in an ideal world, might like a Brazilian second semi-final. However, Beast Coast, true underdog story, and the Brits love an underdog.
Yeah, of course we do, of course we do. And I think the big thing about that bracket as well is there is now no Furia. We will crown a new major champion. We haven't seen a grand final without Furia/W7M since Yunchipping as well. So I think for the overall tournament, as if you're a Furia fan, you're sad. But for everyone else, this is great.
Yeah, it is. Right, from this desk right here, I just want to say a massive thank you so far to our Manchester crowd. You've been amazing. But it's not over yet. Myself, Fresh, and Alfama, that is it from us. We've got a brand new desk coming in momentarily after the break, headed by the one and only Milos will be in the building. And we've got Beast Coast versus FaZe, our next quarterfinal after the break. Do not miss a minute of it.